everyone, and welcome to another Late Tackle. I'm your host, T-Gat, alongside with the one and only Eddie Guna from Eddie Vision. Eddie, what's going on?
There you're in a T-Gat, another Late Tackle. What's this? Episode 18? All right, 18. And I see persons in the comment section very upset already in the people.
I tell you.
I don't know what's going on.
I tell you, people getting mad. They're getting mad, but
anyway, I wonder why.
But people, welcome to another episode of Late Tackle. And today we have a rough one. We see that a lot of things been happening over the week, and the Guna and I gonna just talk about it, and make some. Guna, tell us what is on the menu.
All right, Tiga. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Championship Cup. Cavaliers was in action midweek against the Messiless Inter Miami. Right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Boza doing well over there in Liga MX. We're going to touch a little bit on that as well. Time Dixon. Everything Reggae Boyz, Macy Greenwood, everything. All right, folks? Where are you busy? Or are you taking a call? Yeah. Everything Reggae Boyz. So we'll be here, people. So drop your comments as quick as possible and smash the like button. If you're new to either Sports Down the Middle or Eddie Vision TV, please subscribe. All right? Subscribe, turn on the notification bell, smash the like button early. As you enter, smash the like button. All right, so big up George Smith in the house, big up AC in the house, big up Nowadays, and also big up KJ Reed in the house. What say you folks? Rudolph Speid. Let me know what you think. Should this man coach a national team? Just off the bat. And I don't want to get into that too early, but yeah, big up Warren Webster in the house.
Remember big up the man them in the place. Yeah, sorry about that. Big up the man them in the place.
Big up yourself.
Duckland, big up yourself. You understand? And big up George Smith was the first one to comment. You understand? And AC, second one to comment. Nowadays,
yeah,
you understand? And then we have KJ Reed and Warren Duckland. You understand? Talawa TV, big up yourself, Lady Talawa. How you doing? What you doing?
Yeah, man, big up Crystal.
Crystal, big up yourself in the house. Crystal, the link is there, so you can join
in the house.
Yeah, big up yourself.
Right.
Big up yourself.
So the performance you got.
What you want to talk about? You want to talk about performance?
What about the match? What about the match? Then we talk about the coach. Right? Talk about the match.
You sure you want to touch that so quick? I just 3 minutes in that thing, You have a main course so fast.
It might go long. All right, we talk about the game first, and then we talk about
the appetizer. We're going to do the appetizer, man. We're going to talk about Boza and them people, and then we talk about Boza.
Yeah.
All right, Boza.
You remember we did the video earlier, and we said Boza need to step up. You said that.
Yeah, definitely.
He's stepping up.
Definitely stepping up. Yeah. He's in the Mexican league, you understand, and he's performing well. You understand? He's performing well. He scored 1 goal already and about two assists.
Three assists.
Yeah, 3 assists.
In 5 games.
In 5 games. So performing average well. You understand? Average well. And people, when Boza just get transferred, but hear people say, "What Bush League and blah blah blah, Countryman League, and it's a step down because him in Europe, because guess what? We only know certain things. You understand? We only know certain things, and we only fix up in a one way. That's all. But you understand? So
yeah.
So we see that the league is not a Bush League. League a big league. League a big league. They are crowd support.
Yeah, man, full stadium every game.
Full stadium. You understand?
You're surprised him take the games to really start getting him feet wet.
The first game he played, when I watch him the first game, got about 2 to 3 chances, didn't score, and he came off in about the 60th minute. He played and he was really blowing. You understand? Like he must say, yo, when me get myself into, you understand? Like, well, they must say, welcome to the league. I blew, but you see him gradually come up and you understand, and I play some ball. So I don't know, but yeah. So
well, we're not surprised, telling because he's a striker and he might play with quality, somewhat. Because the team is struggling during the Tiga. The 17 games they play in.
But they don't have the
bottom.
Yeah, them down the foot. We don't say that around here, Rasta. Them down the foot.
Yeah, them down
the foot.
Yeah,
them down the foot.
Them the way of the foot on the table. So 7 games leave. So let's hope that they can make a push. One of the playoff spaces. 10 spots.
Yeah.
So they make the top 10 to move to the playoff.
Definitely. And in other news, other players, getting game times and really looking good. And we see before we go into the thing, we see a recycled news again. Recycled news. We never have it on the thumbnail. You just jump in the mind, you understand? A recycled news. Hope again. The great forward recycle again where upon the switching allegiance from 2 years now. You understand? Mr. Mason Greenwood. An article just come out couple of days now, and that he switched allegiance again. You understand? It's been switching a long time,
Switchbacks. Yeah, it's a long switch. It take a long while to switch.
It's a long while to switch. So the thing come.
But him can't switch go back though.
He can't switch go back. That's the thing. Yeah, that's the good thing. You understand? When they were talking to the FA. The England FA, they must say, they asked him the question, they must say, that Mason Mason is the one that made that request that he want to switch. You understand? And once you only can switch one time. You understand? So so that was a good thing about that news. You understand? That was a good thing about that news that them say him only can switch one time. So if everything goes well, you understand, him can't switch back because. And Eddie, me noticed that them news always come up when England is about to name them squad, You understand?
Yeah, because they plan to name the squad next week.
Yeah, next week, the 14th, that thing. You understand?
It will be interesting to see if them name Jet Spence, the Spurs fullback.
The Spurs, yeah. Let's see what's going on. Let's see.
So we're going to see if Tuchel go up on this. Let's cap all the Jamaicans, bro.
I don't think he's going to do that right now. Because he want to make an impression. So I'm going to call back all of the elite players then. You understand? Because the thing with the England coach, he might watch match. He's been watching a lot of match. England coach been watching a lot of match. And love, there's a lot of time I watch EPL and I see him in the stands. You understand? The FA Cup. The FA Cup, he might watch a game. You understand?
And him not live in England, unlike some
unlike some other coach. You understand?
Him not live in England. Just make
I don't know. But let's see what's going on.
What that? Cataract. I saw your time, man.
Cataract.
Your time. When I ready for you, cataract.
Lord Jesus. Yeah. So
big up Jason going in the house as well.
Jason, big up yourself. You understand? Jason Gona. People, I want to watch Jason Gona TV. You understand? He's very knowledge of the game. And one day, when I stream, I watch him. He was streaming the Cavaliers game. And me that taking in, man. He might do good, He might do good. So big up yourself, Jason.
You never know.
Yeah, man.
Good
yeah,
man. Once Gona and them name, good you.
Yeah, man. So big up yourself, Gona. I'm taking in. I was watching him, man. I always listen to him. In commentary and always listen to him stuff. You understand? I have good knowledge of what I do. You understand? So go and big up yourself. You always give other YouTubers a strength. You understand? So you have to big up that. When they say other YouTubers coming in and watching other YouTubers and giving them a strength, you understand? You have to big them up for that. So big up yourself, Gona. Big up yourself. So anyway, Mr. Greenwood look like him up on the train, right? Look like him up on the train.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
And people, me do a Mr. Greenwood video. I got dropped tomorrow.
Giano.
Look out for that one. And me never gonna say much now. Look out for that one tomorrow.
Yeah, well, man is going depth. All right, so
different information. You know, I get the information nowhere else.
So so if Mason turn up, 23-year-old turn up for Jamaica, one of the best footballers out there right now. You understand? Top-notch footballer right now. You imagine who can follow suit behind him? All of the other people that make Mason Greenwood really turn up. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Then Jamaica start get some win.
We expect to get an influx of players. You know what I mean? Because, you know, people love follow. Them say Mason do something. People go say, wow.
Yeah.
Make me run in. So all who did up on the fence, I go jump off of the fence.
Definitely.
And try run in. So we have to know where the people. And we want to welcome them, you know. We want to welcome everybody. But there's a way to do it as you
There's a way. Yeah, definitely.
You understand?
Definitely. So, yeah, all right. So guess what? I'll wait until everything settled down. You understand? Wait till the smoke clear and the dust settle. And we could see what is
no cataract. No cataract. Different something. I'm giving solutions in the video cataract. Different.
Yeah, solutions. All right, so that is it. Yeah, that is it. What is happening out there? So let's jump into.
Hold on.
Quiet.
Whisper. Yes. You're not about Louis Baker.
Oh, my! It's AIDS. AIDS. Sometimes we have a talk really soft.
Where here, boy.
Yeah. So now you said that what? Now you said that one. They kind of fly the gate too. You understand? I'm hearing that one kind of fly the Louis Baker thing. Kind of fly. Yeah. Well, me hear say fly the gate. You understand? I was in a chat. I hear say, hey, guess what? You understand? Guess what? When it was the same time we hear about the Mason Group. And people that say, what is it? And I say, you don't hear about this? Louis Baker. I said, Louis Baker? I said, oh, yes. You're going to be surprised. So I said, what? So,
him have him book.
You look like so. It look like that. They must say, you have him book. You understand?
You know, say, I like a birdie tell me, so we're going to 2 additional players.
Jesus.
2 additional players. I don't know how true. I don't know if a JPL players or UK players.
Yeah.
But them said 2 people whisper. We can't too loud. 2 additional players. Some here.
Right.
2. 2. Just 2.
But that sound good. You understand? Just sound good. If we get 2 decent, as I say, the team need 2 decent midfielder and a wing back. Yeah, definitely need 2 decent midfielder and a wing back. So if we get 2 decent midfielder and a wing back, the side set. You understand? The side set, and we'll just make them play together and gel. You understand? That's definitely it. You understand? That's definitely it, sir. But good news. We can't wait.
Some good news.
We can't wait until the next game. When is the next game again? Against St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
I know the home game is the 25th.
Yeah, so
the away game just before that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
People tell me the away game. I know the home game is the 25th.
Yeah, right around the corner.
So
right
not far from now.
Right.
So we expect the squad to be named sometime next week. Not next week coming, but the following week.
Following week, we expect the squad. So we'll be tuning in. The 21st.
The 21st of March.
Tell it said Jason up to date. People not to check it, taking him now. Not to watch him show. You understand?
Yeah, man, subscribe to Jason TV. Just take a moment right now. Subscribe and forward back.
Yeah. So definitely. And also, I'll be doing definitely a watch along with our away game. You understand? Definitely.
Because I think I'm gonna make a trip go down attending.
So definitely we're gonna go. And the Reggae Boyz and Girls Supporters Club definitely do a watch along. So anyway, we have somebody backline.
Drop the link.
Yeah, the thing drop. But we now talk to people long enough.
Yo.
Yeah, go ahead. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Let me.
Hold up. One umbrella.
Yeah, we asked my brother.
There.
Yeah, I'm there, man. I'm there. I'm listening and just me I chime in to play my local part, you know.
Wait, so what is your local part?
So which one of the topic you want to touch?
Let me some topic.
All right, just say a piece now so we can get to move on.
So me there say I think it's a good thing for happen for we, and it not only good for playing, it's good for marketing, you know, because the world I go pay more attention, and it as simple as you see it, it is better for the whole away, because like look at it that way from a marketing perspective. Jamaica football will get more attention, and by that getting more attention, then all the YouTubers are gonna get more attention too. So it is a win-win situation for everybody, you know.
And you think we'll be getting Mason sooner or later? Which one?
All right, I am in a position where I can't answer the question there. The coach are the only man who's supposed to be answering that question. So if anybody associate with any way or answer them question there, they shouldn't be doing it.
No, I was just saying in your eyes, in your view.
No. Me not. Only thing me deal with the football, I provide entertainment. So like with the Messi game, me I provide the entertainment package, and for the game on the 25th, me I provide entertainment. So that's the only thing I can speak. I can't speak about football matter. Only thing I can speak about is entertainment matter. I have one umbrella is an independent organization that.
Hold on. This is not the show for the promotion, because right now we're not really doing a promotion for the show, so you have to keep that for the next show. You understand? This is not really the show. Really talk about the promotion and that again. We have other topic in line, so you go try. Disrupt the line we have. When we have the other show next week, you can come on and you talk about the promotion. Right now, we're not doing a promotion.
Okay.
Right? All right.
For the game.
That's
next week.
Next week.
That I'm not in a position to talk about football in matters, you know. Only
okay. All right. So we thank you for your piece. All right. Respect. That was one umbrella, people. All right. Back to the thing. So yeah, man.
Hold on it. Breaking transmission. Check the private chat, Tiga.
Check the private chat. All right, go ahead. Yeah, man, me know, man. That's why, me never want. Yeah. So we do it so sharp. You understand? Yeah, man.
All right, folks. So,
yeah,
all right, people, me drop the link, so I want to touch any of the topic then before we get into the Rudolph Speid. Let me know. And we might drop a poll, Might do a poll on this thing. All right, how much persons would like to see Rudolph Speid coach the national team in the future? Not now. In the future.
All right, people.
If you want
hold on, people.
Type 1.
Hold on.
If you don't want to coach, drop
hold on, Eddie. Hold on. People, we're going to say this. For the guests who are coming on the show, please turn your camera on. You understand? We want people to see your face. Yeah. And yeah, we're not in the blank screen thing. You understand? Because we're not hiding nothing around here. Understand? We're not hiding nothing around here. So if you're coming on the show, please show. If you can't show your camera, we just type in the comment section. Understand? Type in the comment section if you can't show your camera. Understand?
Cataract, you know they want cataract.
Well, it's for this week. For this week, you get me. Bedroom. We have the cataract. You understand? We have cataract in the scene.
But looking at a private chat, but I'll tell you what I'm
going. Yeah, we tell you, we see what I'm going, brother.
They must saggle up, man. They must saggle up. They might get
hold on, brother. Hold on. So if you're doing them kind of situation there and stuff, wait until look later they come back. I know you like the show, you know.
No,
I know you like the show.
No, I'm not telling you I have to go at the club, brother. String up the sound. That's what I'm telling you. I'm running early.
All right, man.
The whole day.
Big up Texas in the place. Big up Nitro 6 and say, gun, fire fire gunners in the place. They're real Alabama. Big up yourself. Warren Webster, big up yourself. Tycoon, big up yourself. Big up. So, before we drop in at the main menu, Keter, we just having some appetizer. And part of the appetizer was the Mason Greenwood. What you have to say about the Mason Greenwood? Yeah, man, appetizer. So, is that meal with what?
Why?
Why? Wrong choice of word. Wrong choice of word.
But tell you say you live away from Jamaica too long.
Wrong choice of word.
So no, don't have. Well, all right.
No menu. No menu. No appetizer.
Brother. No menu.
Topic. The first topic. The second topic. A topic word.
All right. The first topic. The second topic. All right. So
let me run through quick because it's an appearance. It's not a performance. You understand? It's an appearance. It's not an album launch. Right? All right. 96 Hope Road.
All right,
cool. Promote 96 Hope Road, Club Rico, Cataract.
No, Cataract. But just remove somebody from the thing. So
but we are making know. We come on and think I will not charge nothing. But Mason Green, no, we're not charge nothing. We just come and drop knowledge. Mason Greenwood, I believe we will see Mason Greenwood in June, July. That window.
September, November.
No. If that's too late. That's too late. That will be problematic. If we don't see Mason at the Gold Cup, it will be problematic. I also want to say something that I said before, because some people they retrofit things. So I will say this on air again. Cataract is the first person to say the day Mason Greenwood put on the black, green, and gold is the day you will see a sold out stadium.
Yes.
Back in the 98 days when man sit down on top of the wall and man a jump fence.
Yeah, all right.
Messi now gonna do that.
You sure about that? You sure about that, Keter? You sure about that?
Bro, me I tell you right about now. Remember say it before a year ago and I'm gonna say it again.
If Messi can't fool it, I think Greenwood are gonna fool it.
Mason Greenwood have a cachet. Manchester United, Jamaica have a thing with Manchester United. Messi have a following in Jamaica, Messi have a following in Jamaica. My nephew is a Messi fanatic in everything in the little boy room. A Messi, right? But let me say this. I believe Mason Greenwood would be equal to Messi. Let me thanks for the reality check. Because we are all big man. We're not perfect.
Yeah,
Mason Greenwood would be equal to Messi. But I believe when Mason Greenwood put on the black, green, and gold, man, I got jump fence. Remember me tell you.
Definitely.
Every part of the stadium will go wrong. Because it's been a long time coming. The prodigal son come home. I'm going to welcome him.
Yeah,
whatever the steps are taking. And I think it's a lesson to players in England. I hope he put on the black winner. Players like Jadon Sancho. I know Jadon Sancho, if a Jadon Sancho could have rip up and burn up all the game them and destroy the video them when they play for England and get a Jamaica shirt, he would be the first. Jadon Sancho would be the first player to switch and come play for Jamaica. May I tell you that without apology, right? Others would too. Messi, Greenwood, I know it's not only your will because England never wants you. The girl never wants you, so your forward come away. You understand?
What is this?
Even though we had the fat chicken at the bar.
Yeah. What is this? Yeah.
What is this? What is this? Because you're drunk right now, but you look pretty. You look slim.
Yeah.
Right? But I tell you what, I want to be the one I had and say 2026. I want Jamaica Messi Greenwood on board. I would love Jamaica to be in the group with England. And I would tell you that Mason Greenwood would run riot in a Jamaica versus England.
Definitely. That would be
that's my dream.
That would definitely be a good one.
My dream World Cup final.
That would be.
You can imagine if I make it to all the semi-final or quarter-final or knockout stage. Wait, on the line.
And, that would be a good one. That would be a
98th minute.
That would be a good one.
Yes, agree.
You're
not going fire, Rasta, but that would be
fire now.
Yeah, that would be.
Hold
on, cracker. If the Jamaica team qualify for the World Cup and you have some people that play definitely in England, you understand, who apply the trade in England and could have represent them, and they're representing us, and they do it. That is going to be a really cracker one. You understand? Definitely, it's going to be a really cracker one.
But remember, if you qualify, we're going to be in one of the hardest groups.
Definitely, we're going to be because
so
easy group. Remember, America take up one group. Canada take up one group and Mexico take up one group. So we're going to one tough.
England one box. That's one.
Yeah, we're going to
really one box Southgate though, but the brother run. Baba boy don't run. Southgate to run, but we really one box Southgate. But it's not any English player. I believe Mason Greenwood has a vendetta. As a date with this.
Now hold him. I think other places. Other players gonna have.
Never depend none.
Other ones gonna.
No man.
I understand what you say, but me not really want to single out. I understand what you say, Cataract. But me not really want to single out that one day.
And I tell you, say my dream is just to see the ball and the penalty spot. It's a penalty I want. Put down a penalty in the 90th minute and send England home. That's my dream.
My dream.
That's my dream.
My dream.
Big up Warren West.
So definitely one big hold on, big up someone again in the place. Big up Grimy family production.
Hold on.
Judith in the place.
Happy International Women's Day.
Yes, happy International Women's Day.
Big up Judith.
Big up
yourself.
Only
female in the house right now. Big up yourself. And Talawa as well. Big up
Crystal. Crystal. We talk about all of you. You forgot Crystal. So big up Grime in the place, you understand? Texcan, big up yourself. You understand? Family from the Reggae Boyz and Supporters Club, big up yourself. You understand? All right. So yeah, man. With their partner and we big up Nitro back in the place. You understand?
Yeah,
big up yourself.
Big up Gunners. Big up Gunners.
Gunners, boss. Big up yourself. Gunners. You need to join the link, because more have a talk with you, Gunners. You understand? More have a talk with more a serious talk with you, Gunners. Yeah, man, more has a serious talk with Gunners. You understand? Gunners are spit the content, then left, right, and every time I look on my phone. You understand? I drive go to work and listen to a Gunners content. Gunners more really want join set up the link. Want talk to Gunners. All right, so that is the Mason Greenwood topic. You understand? That is the Mason Greenwood topic. And so we have a jump on the CONCACAF Championship that was played the other night. You understand? With the Jamaican JPL team, Cavaliers. You understand? So we're going to talk about that right about now. We have a special guest who really want to talk about. Hold on, the Cataract, man. We have a special guest who really want to talk about that game. You understand? We have a special guest who really want to talk about that game. So, Crystal herself, I'm going to have her right now. So, Crystal, welcome to the late tackle with Eddie Guna, myself, and Cataract, one of our special guests every weekend. Always come on every week to support us. So,
and with the PM.
Forward some weeks when I come. Forward. Tell us Jamaica to
I tell you it's this time. Can't deal with him now. Can't. Go ahead, Crystal. Go ahead. How you doing? Welcome.
I'm okay. Good. Good day to the guys, the co-host, and also to Cataract and the guys in the comment section. Good day to you all.
Bless you.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Fearless Gunner. We have Fearless Gunner in the place too. Hold on, Crystal. We have another Fearless Gunner in the place. Fearless, big up yourself.
Yes, sir.
Bring them on.
Crystal.
Good day.
Big up yourself in a boss day here. You don't know.
All right. All right.
Cataract. With floppy sound. Eddie Guna. Big up yourself, Mr. Tiga.
Big up.
All
You
right, so
call me out, so I'm here. But before you address me, I want to hear the beautiful voice of Crystal sing.
definitely fearless, definitely. So
Just
we're
draw
gonna
your
talk
curtain
about the
and make
game.
sure ice not the outside, yeah? Just make sure ice not the outside, but you're fearless. You're
All right,
afraid of
cool.
ice. Right, I know. You're afraid.
All right, so Captain, we're going at the game, man, and stop disrupt the show, man. First, our special guests who want to talk about the game. Everybody's going to talk about the game. Palawa TV, Crystal, go ahead. Tell us what you think about the game that was played on Thursday night between Cavaliers and Inter Miami.
Yeah, I think I'm probably like reiterating much of what was said when you did the live stream for
Yes.
Reggae Boyz and Girls Community Club, like alongside CC Sports. So I'll just echo that. I think Cavalier, the young boys, they definitely have much to be proud of, because I think I'm going to put my hands up. I obviously don't watch these two teams religiously, but when you talk about going up against a Messi Inter Miami, even though Messi is obviously well past his best, you still got players like Suarez and, Jordi Alba. They've been led by Mascherano and so on. You still probably look at that team and say, with their abundance of experience and the caliber of abilities at their disposal, that they would have wiped the floor with Cavalier. I think that was a lot of people's expectation, was that they was just going to completely give them a hammering, but they didn't. And me personally, I definitely got that wrong. I expected so much more from Inter Miami, but they really did not surpass any expectations. Cavalier, on the other hand, like I said, they have much to be proud of. A young team, still have a ton of experience to get under their belt. Like, for example, I think it's quite telling in terms of the margin between the two sides when it comes to performing on a big stage. Yes, we know CONCACAF Champions Cup is not as big as other competitions in Europe or for example, but they can only play what they're eligible to play in, right? So in terms of performing on the big stage, I think one of the things that got the better of them was their naivety. And it's one of those things that teams across the world, even the teams in like the English Premier League, Eddie will probably back me on this, the old Arsenal of yesteryear, in terms of the young Arsenal team, even when they had players like your Nasri, your Fabregas, your Van Persie under Arsene Wenger, they have that naivety to them, which you could kind of see in Cavalier. Like, in terms of the naivety with Cavalier was when they were looking to the referee in the build-up to Inter Miami's second goal. And that kind of annoyed me a little bit, and it's completely forgivable. But the reason why it annoyed me, I was looking at that moment and I was saying to myself, there's no point turning to the referee. Like, for me, it's a mark of desperation. Like, no one is going to pity you. No one's here to be your friend. No one's here to get you over the line. The referee arguably, alongside VAR and the match officials, robbed you of a goal. What makes you think that they're going to peg this one back, or for it to be for the second goal for Cavaliers, for Inter Miami's second goal to work in your favor? It was never going to work in your favor. So I think the naivety definitely got the better of them in that regard. And also just the clinical prowess just wasn't there, unfortunately. It's just one of those things that it just was not there. Arguably, by the end of the first 45 going into the halftime break, they should have been up minimum 2 goals to the good for Cavalier. Even the disallowed goal aside, they should have at least been 2 goals up going into the end of the first 45, but it wasn't to be. So it's disappointing. I will say that I do believe that two things can coexist, and some people probably won't agree with me, but I do feel that Rudolph Speid did outcoach Mascherano. Obviously, some people are going to be like, well, how did he outcoach them and still walk away with a 2-goal deficit? The two can most certainly coexist. Again, when you look at the Premier League, we've seen where an opponent would outcoach or outplay their opponents, but it's just for their opponents to come up clutch and walk away with the all-important 3 points. I don't think Cavalier is any different to what we've seen in those bigger leagues like your Bundesliga, your La Liga, and your Premier League. Like, as I said, I do think the two can coexist. He did outcoach Mascherano. He just didn't have the final touch to get his boys over the line, and that's the reason why they're down 2 goals to the good. But I think, again, to reiterate, they do have much to be proud of, and hopefully, this is just a step in the right direction for them.
Okay, yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. Definitely, I want to thank
Proper breakdown.
Proper breakdown. Yeah,
I
proper breakdown.
apologize. I promise it's the only thing I'm going to say tonight. So that's
No,
all.
man,
No, man, we love it. We love it. We love it. We love it.
A different game you watch, Talawa.
Yeah.
You watch that
No,
game.
but hold on, Cataract.
Yeah,
That was a proper breakdown and insight.
So I didn't agree. I agree with what you said.
I agree
with the take.
I agree with it.
That's
Definitely.
with the white tinted glasses.
All right, so
I mean,
there's
because
another
Mascherano,
people-
Mascherano could what Mascherano did to stop Cavaliers really. We didn't say any substitution in the tactical change.
tactical move. And
We
all
didn't
right,
say
so
nothing.
hold on, I could go back again. We want to big up R&R in the place. R&R come in, box cover, big up himself. You understand? R&R big up Gunners, but we said Gunners already. DM big up yourself, you understand? And R&R. So anyway, that was a wonderful breakdown of the game. Now, Cataract, you can have yours, please. Cataract,
different game.
you can have your say now. Let's go. Let's hear what you have to say.
Good evening to Lady Crystal.
And please don't take long. Do Cataract. Let's stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. Go on, Cataract.
It will stretch out. God have mercy.
Why if it's stretch out?
Mercy. I apologize, Crystal. No stretching around here. Right. And the man where I hide from ice, boy, it had spring the man have had some sweater, would it? You would change the name to Trump run, Gunner.
Check the temperature. Check the temperature outside.
Take a temperature.
Check the temperature outside. It's cold outside.
Yes, it is cold outside, and it's very windy too. So Cataract, you need the man.
It's cold outside.
It's very windy and it's cold outside.
Hey, Cataract.
Cataract,
let me tell you something before you talk about. Hold on, man. Let me say this before you address anything. I am the first Jamaican to get a red book when them changed it in 1991, 92 from black book to red book. You hear that? So shut up. I am a British subject, and I go wherever I choose to go in the world with that book. So shut your mouth.
So a long time you sell out then. A long time you sell out then. Because me there in for the 90s, I'm gonna run go look the red book. But I still have my blue. You understand?
I earned mine, dude. I went there when we did not need visa or nothing. All I need was my aunt with an invitation letter.
Yeah, man, same so we go, man.
Yeah, right. That pick me up at the Y'all dude be see me on these internet. You know how much time me there Jamaican could have just grab you and say, hey, look a fat Cataract, we can't even stand up every day you laying on your back. But anyway, let's get back to the football.
Yeah, go ahead, Cataract. Yes, go ahead.
So I saw a totally different game than Crystal did. When you go into a two-legged knockout tie, the away game, you are trying for three things. First, you not to concede a goal. Right? That's your first objective when you play an away game. So you look the best result that you will look for is a 0-0 draw. Right? That means everything come at your home game. The next thing that you look for is an away goal, which then puts the opponent on the back foot with the responsibility to score when they come to your home, right? So that's a 1-0 or a 1-1 draw. Again, those are the two best results that you can look for as an away team. Cavaliers didn't get either of those two results. I don't think Rudolph Speid out-coached Mascherano. I think Mascherano knew and believed in the following adage, that class is permanent and form is temporary. And that when you have world-class players, you just need one opportunity, right? So I think he knew he lasted Cavaliers. Towards the end, questions of fitness would have come into play. May I go for the charge of my laptop? Questions of fitness. And they so did. I believe Mr. Speid made I think at least one tactical error in terms of that the second goal came after some changes were made, and at the end of the day, the result that they would have gotten playing without their best player, that's what we have to always remember, was not a comfortable tool of victory. It was not comfortable. It was not comfortable, but a workmanlike tool of victory, which sets them up for the second, the return leg. Now, what I think the third objective of Cavalier was to hold to a 1-0 defeat that would force Inter Miami to have Messi start in the National Stadium. At 2-0 down, I'm still not certain that Messi starts in the National Stadium. Probably just comes on if there's into some trouble or something like that. So I don't think they achieved any of their objectives. Game-wise, I think what Crystal is calling is naivety. But the players are young. So it's an under-23 squad playing very experienced players. Jordi Alba, and I don't know if you watched other programs that I was on Jay Taylor, and I told you that the difference maker in this game would be Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez is arguably one of the top 20 strikers alive on the planet, right? Over a body of work. I mean, he's not at his peak, but in terms of a body of work. And he just showed you, if you give him a yard of space and you give him 1 second of time, he will hurt you. And that's what he did. He's on the pitch for 90 minutes and all he needed was 10 seconds.
But Cataract, can I interject quickly, please? Is it okay to interject?
Yeah, go ahead, Krista.
So in terms of like what you've said about like both teams, what do you... Okay, so Cavalier were able to keep the likes of Jordi Alba and Suarez quiet for the bulk of that game, right? So what do you put that down to?
So
we spoke about youth and experience, which we can both agree on. We also spoke on naivety, but it's fair to say that they're superstars. Again, even without Messi, they were kept quiet. They were kept at bay. So what do you put that down to?
So I'm gonna say this again. Not again. I'll answer you this way. The objective of the game, I was a fighter, right? My belts and my trophies are all in the ring. It's 12 rounds. You can beat me for 11 rounds and 2 minutes, and I knock you out in the 12th round. No one remembers what you did in those 11 rounds.
But we're not talking about
Hold on.
Question, like, why is it this young and...
You asked to interject.
But what I'm saying is...
Allow me to answer.
Because you're not being fair. You're not... We're talking about...
Hold on, cataract.
You're not being fair. What I want you to do is to talk about Mr. Speid as Cavaliers manager and not Mr. Speid as JFF, because I feel like there's some clouded judgment here. I'm not the biggest fan of Mr. Speid. I can tell him that to his face. Yeah, I'm not his biggest fan, but what I am going to do is give credit where credit is due. So let's be fair and talk about Mr. Speid, Coach Speid as Cavalier Speid, and not Coach Speid as JFF Speid, because I kind of feel like that breathes cloud.
You hit the nail right on the head.
All right, so what?
I wasn't allowed to respond. I was asked for an introduction. I didn't interrupt any of the panelists when.
Now I'm being accused of something. I am assessing
Again,
are you not answer the question though, Kata? You not answer
the question. Football is a 90-minute game. Right. So you could hold somebody at
hold on, just calm down.
You still not answer the question. The question is, what attribute to that?
What's on about Cavaliers? Go on.
No.
If this is a Cavaliers,
hold on. What you want to is, what happened during the time when they were silent? What caused that? That's how she want.
That's what, yeah.
And I am beginning to profess an answer. And when I got one sentence in, I'm going to get cut back again. So let me say this again.
Go ahead.
Football is a 90-minute game. Okay. You're required to play and concentrate for 90 minutes and execute for 90 minutes.
Okay.
If over the course of the 90 minutes, you have a break in concentration, you have a tactical lapse, you make changes that change the composition of the game. Good teams wait for the weak point and then they strike and hit you. That's all they're required to do. This is not like gymnastics where you put up a 10 out of 10 for your performance. It's the result. So if I have players who are 33 and 35 and 36 like Messi, I'm not going to run up and down in a racing match with you. I'm going to wait until you tire. And when you become complacent or when you become overconfident and when you overcommit, and then a strike can hurt you. The result is that they are 2-0 down with a return leg to come, with arguably one of the 3 greatest players on the earth who has fresh rested legs to come into the national stadium. I don't see how that is some great thing. I was the first to say I'm a neutral. We don't like Mr. Speid. I'm gonna like Cavaliers, but I don't wish them no bad. Right? I gave to watch a neutral game as a neutral. I'm not cheering for Inter Miami. I'm not an Inter Miami fan. I'm not a Messi fan. Right? So I just watched the game. And I'm saying you saw a wily old fox take on some young upstart. And what you do is you don't, in boxing, they'll tell you, when I was up against younger, faster, hungry, but just wait. Because at some point, the inexperience will show. And you strike clinically. So Cavaliers' deficiencies were showed up in the fact that they're tactically naive. They in terms of skill, they didn't put away their chances, right? And you have to put away your chances because in those kinds of games, and that's something that atones to Jamaica as well. We don't put away our chances. And if you don't put away your chances in a knockout game, you will get hurt. So this is not about, I don't think this is not no great coaching thing by Mr. Speid or whatever. This is youth on a field, a lot of older players who are world class and have experience, and they bided their time, assess the danger. And there's some other subcontext. At some point, I want to talk about Ian Fray because I hear people say, "Oh, Ian Fray to come play for Jamaica." I never see him saying do nothing.
No. No,
I'm just saying there are other subplots in there. So this is not liking.
He wasn't impressive at all.
Like Mr. Speid, I never watched the game to see the downfall of Mr. Speid. I don't want to see the downfall of my countryman, but another man's side. But it's just like a Man U fan that watch Manchester City in the Champions League. We're not cheering for no side. But we just watch the game.
Crystal, did Cataract answer your question? I don't think he did.
No, he did not. He's shying away.
I'm telling you that they have youthful players, have energy, speed, etc. And when you are a wily veteran or a man with an older squad or a coach with an older squad, what you do is coach to bide your time, strike surgically. Once they didn't get the goals in the first 10 minutes, right? I figure Inter Miami would have had to look and check. First 20 minutes, no. All right, this is a different ball game. You wait out the other team. That's the tactic. And you wait for them to make a mistake. And they did make mistakes.
I think they underestimated the Cavalier team. It's right until they got the goal. When you see Messi come down, that's the time them start take Cavalier serious. When you see Messi come down from up at the top and come down after the first goal, that's the time them start take them serious.
All right, can I say, all right, we shouldn't really give Fearless. We as host edition really, make the panelists go first and then we go after. So, Fearless, you want to say something about the game before Eddie and I say something?
I mean, you know me, Mr. Speid, I'm a general. Who don't like it can vomit right now. Mr. Speid, I'm a general. I wish him success in everything we him do with him club and all of that. And me not have no criticism to make for the team and the youth them how them play. I was impressed. Them knock the ball good to a certain extent based on expectation and what people was expecting and cataract them and them that talk about some 15 or 16 love. Me never hear
no,
it.
you never yet hear it.
Make him finish, cataract. Make him finish, cataract.
No.
You have to respond.
Never
have to respond.
Yeah, hold on, cataract.
Cataract,
we know that. We know that.
Me never hear it. Me just a say it. I'm just saying it, sir. I never hear it. Just work with the program, no man. Sure. You know, say I just say it thing because based on you saying, if you I go talk about the youth, them go play football and Mr. Speid happen to be the owner of the team and them coach, And the moment you say, me no like Mr. Speid, me no want to hear nothing more from you. Me did mute right there, because that means to say, you go come here, come say what you want to say, but deep down in your heart, you want them to fail because you don't like them. You don't like them, should be you and your thing, that boss man. So me I tell you, say, I'm a general, I'm a rate him 100%. Nobody no give me nothing in a life. He give me one jersey. So he buy me out with one jersey. So take it how you like it. But back to the game now. I was impressed. I have nothing to say about it other than is like would I say, youthful exuberance get beaten out by experience and knowledge of the game. You understand? So the youth them run till them couldn't run no more. With what happened supposed to happen with this Cavaliers team. They're supposed to go out there. You get some early chances, close chances, make good use of them. And then say later on you can sit back and relax. Can't make them come score and then you have to fight back. You're not gonna win. So just like Cataract, them sit back and them just pick them time because the little youth them a play chess and them a play checkers. I play checkers and them a play chess.
I have to agree. I have to agree with the last. Hold on. I also want to respond to something, please. Right? I have to agree with the last statement. I think it was a very good analogy. Checkers and chess. And that is a very excellent analogy of what I saw. Right? I believe tactically where Mr. Speid got it wrong is that when you are playing older players, they should have held on to the ball longer, kept possession, and have the players run and some of the tired legs run. You understand? More than trying to attack every minute and then lose possession in the end. I think if they had done that earlier on in the game, then maybe Suarez, Alba, my brethren from Barcelona, oh God, what name they were playing the midfield, they won the ball and caused the goal. Chacha. It was a Spanish international, Busquets. Those legs would have been run tired if you had played a different sort of tactical game. So that is where I think Mr. Speid got it wrong. Because if they had held possession of the ball and have Inter Miami chasing shadows, then, pardon me?
I'm saying how? With who?
No,
they
I'm
don't have the
saying,
technical ability. No, finish.
I'm saying if they had managed to do that, if that was the tactic that they went into the game with, the tactic clearly was to run hard at them, right? But in the end, to me, Inter Miami never bought that bait, or the more senior players in Inter Miami never bought that bait. They just, all right, we see what you do, so we are going to go on rope a dope then. Rope a dope. The fact is, Inter Miami is not the champions of the MLS, and there's a reason. They're not the best team in the MLS. They have weaknesses. They have shortcomings. Right? So, I think they lost. Is that Atlanta?
Hold on, Fearless.
Did they lose 3 games to Atlanta in a playoff situation?
Hold on, Pause. Mikey, we see a back screen, all right? We soon, don't get discouraged. Just soon put you on, Mikey. Just give me a few, all right? Thumbs up, Mikey, if you hear me. So, all right, cool. Just don't get this go. We soon put you on. We soon line you up, Mikey. Just
Can I say something now?
Yeah, go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, Cataract. I'm going to start now. I think what I was most impressed about was Cavaliers' approach, the tactical approach. I think that was the only way. And I was impressed because Cavalier actually got to do what they wanted to do, which was to sit back and break fast. I do agree with you with them holding the ball in midfield because they do have the technical ability. They do have the players. And where would you rather lose the ball? In the middle of the park or up top? We see Calvin running at the left back, the right back, or whatever. That's him lose the ball well, yeah. He never really do a good job all the time, but I prefer him losing the ball up high than Cavalier losing the ball in the midfield or in the defense. So I was very impressed with that, and for some reason Miami could not deal with the pace. They could not stop it. Cavalier, yes, they were very wasteful. They weren't composed. And I think if they had been better on the ball, better with the decision making, they would have scored. Even before they got the first goal, that was disallowed. They had created, remember one of the chances hit the crossbar or the post, hit the post because of the pressure. So and you would come and say, oh, I think it was tactically wrong. It's because, after the fact they're going to say that because it never worked out. But I think the game plan from Speid going into the game worked well up to a point. And I think if they had gotten that precious away goal, we'd all be saying something different today. You know what I mean? Yes. Why do you look, Cataract?
All right. Hold on before Cataract come in. Hold on, Cataract.
Mikey.
Hold on, not Mikey. Before Mikey, let me say something. Mikey,
you want to say something?
Yeah, not look at yourself. All right. If you see, I have Mr. Duckland's tenant comment on the stream for a very long time. I don't know if you read Cataract. So we have to give that a part of what Crystal was saying. That was a part of it. So they got a referee, and the referee decision was really, and we want to talk about that referee decision. Cataract. Let me ask you that decision. Eddie and I in a group chat. We're not plenty group chat, but we know on group chat that Eddie said something that really, drive a point. When the goal was scored by Cavaliers, and although they wasted one chance was wasted, and then the other hit the post. But when they did score the goal, right? The linesman didn't call for an offside. The referee didn't call for an offside, and it was checked by VAR. And VAR now should have said an offside goal, but they didn't make the call. They asked for the referee to come and look on the screen. You ever see that in a football yet? You ever see a referee go on the screen to check for offside? You know, check for red card and foul on them something. You ever see a referee when VAR called him over and check for offside? Cataract, may I ask you the question?
I can't say I've never watched every VAR decision, but you. So let me say this. Let me say this on my view. Let me say this on my view on it. Right? If you put away legitimate chances, this would not have been a question.
What was the legitimate chances? Hold on a minute. No, but Cataract, you say something, I'm answer you.
No, I haven't said nothing. I started a sentence. I don't even reach the comma.
All right, go ahead, Cataract.
If you put away your legitimate chances, then these things which happen in football, which I believe it's a controversial decision. I believe it's a controversial decision. But it could have gone either way. Now, I also understand that the home team normally gets like an edge when it comes to these 50-50 decisions. Was he interfering with play, that sort of thing? But it's a controversial decision, a borderline decision. I would say that. And I can understand Cavaliers feeling hard done by. They have a right to have that feeling. I'm not saying you're the man clearly offside and them boy. Right? So I can see that. It's a controversial decision. But at the end of the day, the referee is adjudicating. And it's not a goal, it's just the ball in the back of the net he got. So
that's what I said. The ball was in the back of the net. That's what I said.
Right.
Yeah, well,
So,
but Qatar,
anyway.
hold on. If that was given, would you say that Speed got it technically wrong? You know,
Got
so
it
everything worked
technically
out.
wrong?
And yeah, would you say he had it technically wrong?
No, I didn't say technically wrong. I said
Yeah, you say he got tactically
I
wrong.
said
Tactically.
no. I didn't say tactically wrong. I said tactically.
Yeah.
If he had applied a different tactic, he may have gotten the
No,
result.
but the tactic was right.
But the
tactic was right. Hold on, Qatar. Hold on. All right, Mikey, Barney, go on. Let me hear what you have to say.
Well, I go and disagree with Cataract because I think that Mr. Speed got it right. With the talent that he has on display of most of his players being under 23. And if you look at Miami's payroll to Cavaliers payroll, you remember, we are playing basically a semi-pro league to a pro team. Cataract behaving like Cavaliers is like New York FC or Red Bulls or Kansas City. This is Cavaliers because you remember, people say they don't want a USL player on Jamaica team. The way Cavaliers perform these players, which I think only King and 2 others or 3 others really get up, and the first team get a regular start on Jamaica team. In the squad, sorry. These Cavaliers put a performance that I looked at Jamaica JPL as a very improved league because right now I think Cavaliers sit 5th in the league. So Cataract, give the man them some slack, give the coach credit for the job that he did with the team and the talent. Cavaliers midfield is not as good as Miami's midfield. I don't think Jamaica midfield is as good as Miami's midfield. So give the coach a credit, Cataract. Give the coach a credit and give the young boys the credit that them go out there because usually Jamaica team go out there and play defensive and sit back and sit down and get attack after attack and don't try nothing. This team attack Miami, put them on the back foot, almost cast a own goal, score a goal, which I think is a legitimate goal, which the referee just take them from them. I don't because home team advantage. Give them on them credit. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They scored. The referee took the goal away from them. They hit the post. And as a matter of fact, they got more clear chances than Suarez. I talk about Suarez's goal, Cataract. If I think Leng's the center of that miscontrol.
It was a mistake goal.
Yes, he would have never scored.
It was a mistake goal.
Mistake.
He never have no other chance.
Yeah.
Hold
on. Let me finish. The one mistake Cavaliers defense made, the only one, because the second goal, the first goal, which one comes the post? The post one was the first goal, second goal. The one where hit the first, where the goal was Suarez score. That was a mistake by the defender.
That was the only mistake.
That's the only mistake Cavaliers made the whole game.
The
only mistake they make the whole game because Cavaliers get more clear-cut chances. If you take out the 2 goals where Miami scored, Cavaliers got more clear-cut chances than Miami. So Speed did a good job. The team did a good job. Just hard luck. It's just like when Jamaica play Cuba and get 100 chance and score, the team end up 0-0.
So I did not say that Mr. Speed did a bad job.
No, but you're not giving him credit.
You say he got it tactically wrong.
Yes, you're not giving him credit, Rich.
And I don't think that's the case.
And you see, that's what happened when people like T got cut me off mid-sentence. It give a whole different context. I said,
Big up Cranky.
had a different tactic been applied in terms of trying to possess the ball and have Inter Miami running at shadows, the older players like Busquets and Alba, etc., you would have probably had them on tired legs towards the end of the game.
Cataract, can I ask you a question?
Hindsight.
No, hold on.
Mikey, make him finish. Make him finish.
Allow me. I don't want to talk for 10 minutes. You know, this me mute my mic when you were talking.
All right.
I agree for other things, and but big man can disagree in I rumbar, so I don't have no problem if a man disagree with me. Right? 7 different.
White for 1 drink for Appleton Bridge.
Nothing can stop the whites. But here now, what I'm saying is, after all of the thing, and I agree with you that is a controversial decision, and maybe Mr. Speed was right, 9 out of 10 referees would have given it. but this one didn't. Right, so it's just a home team call. So I don't have anything with, you don't even ever mock him or anything like Arteta. Sometimes we come and blame the referee or whatever. I think he had a legitimate gripe, but it's all in the sauce. When you go and play away, you have to put away your chances. But what I came initially and said to you is, look, when you have a knockout phase of a competition, not a league game, your first objective is to keep a clean sheet. Because with a clean sheet, you go back home with the chance to take the tie on your home side. Your second objective is to score an away goal. Not to come and have us describe on Monday morning analytic and quarterback, because the result is a result. 2-0 is not a good result for an underdog team. Facing the possibility of the best player, of one of the best players on the planet, suiting up and coming on the field. Let me tell you this. Remember Jamaica, you never there at New Jersey? When Jamaica did play Argentina and everything did look calm and all right. We did lose 1-0. Yeah. Until Messi come on. Made it so. So don't reason with me like that. I'm saying to you, these players, if you don't understand, they live by just having a minute or 2 or 3 minutes of the 90 and destroy you and get the result. That's all I'm saying. Cavaliers have an up all in the top pretty. And I don't have anything disparaging to say about Mr. Speid in this game. I just believe it. If they did something different, it might. I didn't say definitely, will I say it might have given a different take towards the end. But he's the coach.
So I have a question.
So Cavaliers is in a hole and they have to dig themselves out of a hole.
So Cataract, you're saying that 2-0 is not a good result, right?
Hell no.
Come on now. Based on our prediction.
Hell no.
Based on everybody's prediction going into this match. What was your prediction? Were you predicting a 2-0?
No. And I did not predict a 6-0 either.
So what did you predict? I'm certain 2-0 is a good result based on everybody's initial prediction.
It can't be a good
No, in terms of the performance.
Qatar, what
nobody
expected. Hold on.
Expected them to play this good.
He's saying, all right, what Eddie's saying. You didn't predict 6. Hold on, you didn't predict.
You might have predicted 3.
What was your result that you predict? How much do you think that Inter
I was on Jay Taylor's program and he was talking, and I said, I bet him have to buy me 4 tickets for the game at stadium because Cavaliers would have won. And I'm saying I predicted Cavaliers would have lost. I didn't give a score. I couldn't tell the score.
Okay.
And truly, let me tell you truthfully. Truthfully, I think the people who were saying, just listen, man. The people who said 6-0 said that believing that Lionel Messi would have been on the field. So if you had said to them that without Lionel Messi, what would be the score? You would have had a different thought.
No, but even without Messi, they beat Houston 4-1 in MLS last weekend. Even without Messi.
I would not believe, right? I would not believe that I didn't know whether Messi was going to play or not. That's why I didn't predict a score. I just know that with the amount of experience outside of Messi, they had sufficient experience players to be able to get a result. And football is a results game. Talawa and other people need to talk.
No, but hold on. Hold on. You can't. All right. I agree with Crystal, what she said. All right. The assessment of the game, I agree. I agree that with you also that it was a more experienced team against a young team and they know what to do. And agree with Mikey. Mikey said they made one defending error and they got the second goal. It could have been one goal going into the second leg. Could have been 1-1. You understand? But that's not it. They lost by 2 goals to it, and you're right. They sit back, soak up all their pressure like a good back, like what Mama Dali used to play, Mama Holly used to play, take up all the punch, and then they beat you. That's what they did. They did that. But I thought They surprised me. And I thought they played well. All right. It came out, Cataract, it came out, man.
Oh, sorry.
It came out that he was out coach. So what Crystal was saying that she didn't make it up. It came out in the Miami paper that Rudolph Speid out coach the Inter Miami coach. It came out. I can give you we can look for the article. It came out. And they say, oh, they need to fire him because Rudolph Speid out coach him. You understand? He may not get it, but if you see it on the field, it's because our player, the Cavaliers player, was not clinical enough. You understand? And this is what the problem we have. I have to go straight back to the whole argument when we say the JPL players must be in the national team. And this is one of the reasons why. Because they are not clinical enough and they are not properly built for football. And that's a built for football. Maybe that's not a proper word, but yeah, this is one of the reasons. If they were clinical enough, if the Cavaliers players were clinical enough, they could have maybe get a 1-1 draw or a 2-2. You understand? Going into the second leg. And this is why we're having the problem. You understand? It leads back to the whole discussion why people are called for different baller to be in the national team than the JPL baller, because it's sure against Inter Miami.
And,
you understand?
You remember you remember what I said when I came on the program with you and Eddie after the Trinidad series? I said I didn't see the replacement for
Grant.
I didn't see the replacement for Michael Antonio at the number 9. That when I looked at the forwards and the attacking, what was on display, the best of the league, I didn't see it. It's the same thing that happened against Trinidad. Chance after chance go a begging. Right? So I agree with you there. But let me just say this before, because Cranky and other general them there. So let me say this. I don't like Mr. Speid, but I don't have no problem with no player in a Cavalier. That's why I wouldn't wish them any bad. Me not have no. Me wish the youth them. I want the whole of them get transfer and get contract and go a fraud and I make 1,000 and 5,000 and 10,000 US a week. I wish good for them. Different between me and the owner and the coach. Me not wish bad for them, but I know my team. I hope they give a good account of themselves in the stadium. But what I want to say to you is, do you believe, and the question I did, do you believe that next season, based off this game and this wonderment, 1, Rudolph Speid will get a coaching job in an MLS, or 2, any of those players would transfer to the MLS having played a game like this? Did you believe that the scouts of the MLS watching this game would take one or more of those players?
That's part of my question. I was just going to ask that.
Hold on. It's up to it. Well, we can't make a prediction. It's up. We see in the future, and then we can have a conversation. Say based off of that game, you understand? It's up for the future.
Could I say something?
Hold on the mic.
Let me say something.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Yes, it was hold on. We have another panelist. On the platform, you understand? Cranky from Cranky Live, you understand? A good person again, a good one.
Follow tonight, people. Follow.
Yeah, good one on the game, and we are here. You know, another analytic brains of the game. Go again, Mikey, and then Cranky. We're gonna have Cranky.
The question that Cataract just asked, I just point out 2 players: the left back and King. I think left back name Ainsworth. They were 2 standout in the game. And I think based on especially Ainsworth's performance as a 19-year-old, he have a good chance because he's young to pick up something, maybe not in the MLS, maybe in Europe somewhere. If he can copy that performance Thursday coming, him looking good.
All right, definitely.
I want to pose that same question to everybody on the panel. Who were you most impressed with?
All right, fine. All right, well, before you pose the question, I could hear Cranky breakdown of the game on Thursday. Cranky, what do you have to say?
Look, I think I did a watch along for the game, and I requested people to give me a view on what the score would be. There were very large numbers from most people. The lowest score suggested was 4-0. Some people said 8, some said 6, etc. Now, I did think Speid did a really good job of, and he and I, when I interviewed Speid last year, where we have our little conflict that we have nowadays, we talked about the Cincinnati game, if you guys can recall, and he mentioned that he think one of the key things about the Cincinnati game were a couple of things. Apart from the sort of technical aspect, was the technology they have, the analytics they had, and how that worked, and how they were at a disadvantage. And he said they would do better this time, whoever they played, if they get the opportunity again, which they did. And I thought that they did well from the standpoint of looking at the Miami team, realizing it's not the quickest team. It's a slow team, even though they're very technical. Looking at the left side of the Miami team, which is where they exploited, and really focus on that and play. He want to call it transition. I'm going to call it counter-attacking football. Utilize the athleticism as the strength that they have to give them the advantage in the game. Now, I thought where Cavaliers didn't do the best job is that when they won the ball, the composure required to then progress up the field wasn't there. They were trying to start the counter almost immediately and get the ball upfield as quickly as possible with Stein and others, versus making sure when they made the pass, it got to its destination. Or when they got the ball, take 1 or 2 dribbles to give them some room to maneuver, because Miami was shockingly slow. Their build-up play was good. They lost ideas around the final third, but Cavaliers was very reactive when the pass was being made to either cut off the pass, intercept the pass, get in front of somebody's face, so then they have time deep in their area to maneuver and did things really well. So I thought I actually thought Speid did brilliant. I texted Speid and told him that. You guys may not think that Speid and I communicate, but I texted him and told him that. And he said, yeah, he said, he basically said what he likes to do is make Jamaica proud. Because Speid and I, as you guys know, have our issues, right? I say he should be fired from Jamaica as technical director. He disagreed vehemently, so we disagree. But I give credit where credit is due, because I think I'm impartial that way, whereby if you have gone out, anybody is expected to get 6 and 8 and 10, and frankly, if luck was on your side, you would have won that game. It's indisputable. If Calvin had used his right foot or his head versus his left, if the ball that went out of bounds was called, if his player didn't jump, we can say if, but these are actual things that happened during the game. If the defender was supposed to clear the ball versus trying to control it, tip of his foot and Sorry scored. Because Miami didn't get a ton of chances to put the game away, put the ball away, right? And you could watch the anxiety on Mascherano's face and then Messi's face, because they kept going back and forth to them. You can show that they were anxious about what was transpiring. So to make a long story short, I thought Speid did the best job that he could do, but I thought his players, and he probably need to talk to him about this, they have to have more confidence and composure on the ball, because Miami is there for the taking. I expect them to do better in Jamaica, frankly, because Miami ain't going to change much. If Messi plays, a different story, right? Because Messi's a different player. But in terms of the athleticism, people like Busquets are slow as molasses, technically gifted, still have it, but it's like playing a team where you're sort of past your prime. You still have the skills, but to run physically and to be quick and to react, I don't think it's there. So it should be interesting to see what happens in Jamaica. But I was extremely proud of Cavaliers and Speid and his team. Now, my last point is this, because you guys are talking about this person going where and Speid coaching this. People, always remember this. Sample sizes matter. We can't use one game as the barometer to judge somebody when they're playing tons of games. I'm a King fan. So this game that King played didn't mean anything to me. It's just another situation to emphasize that he has the ability to play at another level. I'm a King proponent. I watched him very, very closely, because I like to watch people when I go to games up close versus on TV, because TV, everything look easy. The pass look easy on TV. The space look like it's there. When you watch it close in person, when you're at the game, the space isn't there. You've got to create their own space, right? So my final point is, proud of the team. I hope they do well in Jamaica. and Speed did a brilliant job.
Definitely.
All right.
So go ahead.
Go back around to Talawa. You still there? Crystal?
Crystal, you're
Yeah.
muted. Go ahead.
Okay.
We're going back to you with a question in terms of who were you most impressed with from Cavalier? Which player or players?
Okay, good evening to Mr. Ballin, Cranky, and also Fearless. I don't think I told them good evening, so good evening to those gentlemen. I think I'm gonna go with Mr. Speed. It's probably a surprise pick, but I'm gonna go with him just because of what his team were able to do on the night's occasion, and just piggybacking off some of the stuff that Cranky said. It's one of the things that we discussed when Tiga and CC Sports are doing their live stream. At the end of the day, we have a Jamaica team, a team from the Jamaica Premier League flying the black, gold, and green high and mighty for us. And that means something, you know. It goes against any personal feelings that we might have for the JPL, Mr. Speed, or Cavalier themselves. At the end of the day, this is the only team that we've got representing Jamaica. And it's a wonderful thing because growing up, this wasn't a thing for me. You know, even some years back, like this was just, it was just unheard of. So I'm happy to see what they're doing, and for them to go as far as they are to the present, it comes back to one person, one main man, and that is Mr. Speed, like it or not. You know, I think he did a good job. I wasn't aware of what Teagat said in relation to like some of the paper talks, but as he was speaking, like I went online and I even noticed that the MLS were basically one of the headlines for the MLS. If I go back and look at the article, it was saying that Inter Miami snatched the lead. And I think that speaks volumes. Like, there's no way that we could sit here and all talk about what each individual did and what the collectives did without turning to the person who encouraged them and implemented what we saw on the field of play. And for me, that goes back to Mr. Speed. So if I was going to choose a lone individual, I would choose Speed and say, like, he clearly did his homework. It's just a shame that the execution wasn't there, but really and truly, as we said, that clinical prowess just isn't at their disposal. But if another thing, while you guys were talking as well, like Eddie and Teagat, I look back at Inter Miami's fixtures for the month of February. And for me, again, fair play to Mr. Speed and his young boys, because at the end of the day, and you can fact check it, for the month of February, with the exception of, I think it was the Sporting game, right? With the exception of that particular match, Inter Miami scored all their goals within the opening first 45. Right, there was only one goal where they scored past the 50+ minute, and a team from the Jamaica Premier League took them to the wire, where it took over 1 full hour for them to crack the code, for them to break the deadlock. And again, that comes down to coaching. So I can't overlook what Speed implemented. And like I said, it's unfortunate that whatever they were trying to achieve, they just couldn't do it like in its entirety, because they're not a complete squad in comparison to Inter Miami. And that's not making excuses for them. That's facts. And also, we cannot overlook the fact that that was a controversial goal. That goal should have stood. The goal that was taken away from Cavalier, it should have stood. And that to me says that comes down to coaching. That comes down to coaching. Another thing I noticed with Inter Miami was that, not Inter Miami, with Cavalier, was that they were fearless. They surprised the hell out of me, because I thought they were going to just sit back, be defensive, be compact, and not allow Inter Miami to run up the scoreline. But they were giving it a good go. It's just they did not have it in their arsenal to do what was needed to get those all-important goals on aggregate in their back pocket. But they did a good job, I think.
Good. Hold on. But Fearless gonna I'm saying nothing before
now why?
Now why? We're going to Fearless.
Hold on, Catter.
Fearless, what you have to say? Were you impressed with any player?
Any player impressed you? Fearless?
For Cavaliers? Are you still there, Fearless?
Go on, boss.
All right. Look at him today. Look at him today.
Cranky. Swing it.
Let me answer the question. So let me start. It does have a controversial person. So from now, I'm going to name you Crystal Speed. So Crystal Speid.
Hold on.
Because of your
Listen, I'm not you.
Hold on.
No. You're not going to silence me because you're talking long enough. When I was speaking, I saw you doing all these little hand movements like you're at the theater. Hold on.
I didn't interrupt though. Hold on. With due respect.
I don't know if you was trying to
with due respect. No. With due respect, I didn't interrupt you. I had my mic muted.
It doesn't matter if you had your mic muted. I saw you doing a lot of hand gestures. I don't know if you was like trying to do sign language or whatever, but I saw what you was doing and I ignored you. So you was interrupting. You were silently.
That is true, Cataract. That is true. You're doing a lot of sign language.
Yeah. I avoided you, right? Again, I'm going to be fair and objective. Like, I'm not here to tap dance to Mr. Speid. I don't want nothing from Mr. Speid or the Jamaica Football Federation. I'm not seeking tickets to games. I'm not seeking interviews from players. JFF can do nothing to better me personally or the growth of my platform. But what I am going to do is be as fair as possible as I can. You're not being fair. You're speaking of a lot of like hatred in your heart towards Mr. Speid, and it's as clear as daylight.
Cataract, you say it again.
You're not being fair. So don't drag me to Crystal Speid just because the truth hurts. Give the man his credit. He deserves it.
And she don't name Crystal Speid. Her name is going to say Talon TV or Crystal. Right, sir? Be respectful.
Hold on again. I haven't been disrespectful.
Yeah, you don't want to be
because you don't like Speid
and accusations have been made against me, which are totally unfair.
No, but
guys, I'm gonna leave. Hey, thanks for having me. I'm gonna leave, guys. We came on this program,
right,
to have a civil conversation. I can't be part of this forum. I'm jotting down the things.
I'm going to lose the panel,
I'm not. I can't go back and forth, guys.
Me invite the man because more on the man experience and come on, Cataract.
I've been on Cracky program.
Cataract, just answer the question.
Cataract. Answer the question, please.
I have listened to the analysis of Crystal and I disagree with it. And I'm saying to you, I have a right as a Jamaican and one watching the game to have a different perspective on the game. These are international matches. It doesn't matter whether you are a semi-pro or a professional club, which Inter Miami is professional and Cavaliers is semi-pro. It doesn't matter if you have deficiencies or whatever. At the end of the day, when you step onto that 100 by 100 meters of pitch, of turf, and the whistle goes, it's mano y mano, 11v11, unless you get a red card, right? Now, when I listen to Crystal, it is as if Cavaliers upset the thing. Did they do better than most people expected? Yes, they did. But what Crystal is I believe is being disingenuous about saying is that when those predictions were made, everybody who was saying 6 and 8, not me, I never gave enough score, and I didn't believe it was going to be 6, believed that Messi was going to be playing that first leg, Inter Miami get the result, and then Messi rest and not travel to Jamaica.
Cataract, hold on, Cataract. To be fair, Cataract, hold on, Cataract. To be fair, that wasn't the question. We'll pass that already. The question was asked if any player for Cavaliers stood out and named the player. That is the question.
I asked the question. I asked the question. No, Tigat, you're being Tigat. I asked the question and said, based on the result, do we believe that there would be a player, any player?
We asked the question going around on the panel. We ask you a question. If you don't have a player, make a move on. We have other people who want to answer the question.
So can I just say one thing, guys? Can I say one thing, guys? Look, can I say one thing? Cataract, this is not about debating somebody's perspective. You have a view, the person have a view. We take the view as they come. It's not about Cataract's view or Cranky's view. It's about Cataract's view. It's his perspective. You don't have to debate whether or not you like his or her perspective or not. Crystal has a view. That's her view. You can say what your view is, but why are you negating her view? That's how she views it. No, I don't understand that.
No, and I agree with you. I'm not negating her view. I said I disagree with her view.
But why are you disagreeing with it? It's her view.
It's her view.
Tell us your view. Tell us your view, Cataract. Tell us your view.
That's all we want. Tell us your view.
Okay. Cronky.
But I'm just saying, Cataract, it wasn't about so if I ask you a question, Cataract XYZ, you said, here's my view. That's it. Why you disagree with the view? We all give an independent view and we just move on.
And there was a question asked. It wasn't talking about attacking. Crystal answered the question and said,
yeah.
Maybe this is
she thought Speid was the person, not the player. Right?
Not the player. Yeah. And that was nothing wrong with that. You understand? And then we asked you to say, tell us which player you think. If there's no player, say, there's no player. And I don't see no player. And then we move on to Mikey. Yeah. So we want Mikey for answer. And then we want Frankie for answer.
I will say this again. I believe that the players who represented for Cavaliers there did justice to themselves, right? I don't however believe that their performance individually, they were individual mistakes and they were individual technical deficiencies that I don't think would see them move to a professional club. Christopher Ainsworth is young, and I believe I would like to watch his trajectory over time and see him develop and see how he develops. He's a player that I've caught on to. Based in the Trinidad game, etc. I think he was one of the standout players against Trinidad. So he has continued to be a performer when you put him among 11 men, right? Richard King, whose error was it? Because in the thing when I said to Taylor, I said, this game was about, in terms of me for Jamaica, was about Richard King. And him demonstrating that he could lead a line to hold a clean sheet against over the hill, but nonetheless world-class striker. He did it for some of the time, but you see those errors and that thing, you have to do it over 90 minutes, bro, because when you come up against the best, it's only the best that could do. So Ainsworth I'll have time for, but I don't see him ready for a transfer, maybe another season, and boom. Richard King, I can't. Richard King is just Richard King. It's just a standard Richard King performance. As far as I saw it, it's how we play.
Right, so
Ainsworth and
King. And King. All right, so let's move on to Mikey. Mikey, who are you impressed with? You're muted, Mikey. I must say, who are you impressed with?
I did say Ainsworth and King, but I want to say that it was Leng mistake that caused Suarez goal and not King. Okay. So therefore, King made, I see, maybe one mistake or two mistakes when he passed the ball out the box straight to one of the midfielders. But apart from that, he had a solid game. Him and Ainsworth had a solid game. And the way they play, I really believe right now, make up on the line and say, if Jamaica pick a team and it's between Damian Lowe and King, me want King play.
That's strong. All right. Cranky, go ahead. Who are you most impressed with the other night?
So I'm gonna be like Cataract a little bit because I jotted my notes here. So here are my positives and developmental. I thought Rudolph was impressive from pre-game, during game, post-game. Go watch his interviews.
Yeah, that interview.
I thought the team defense was excellent, especially the midfield protection of the back four. I think if you look at the team, how they defended all over the field, I thought they were excellent. I thought the coach's strategy was implementing. As Crystal says, they were fearless, which was interesting. I think Rudolph spoke about that I hear him on the radio talking to Maverick until they played. They weren't intimidated. So his strategy was good. In terms of negatives, I thought his changes could have been better. I thought it should have been changed earlier because they started to get tired because they were working really hard. I think the players need to improve their physical makeup. Start and get bounced off at every ball. Let him go 50-50. You can see Miami was a much stronger team. They have to improve their physicality. I talked about composure before. The first touch has to be better. And then you got to take your chances. In terms of players, I'm a King proponent. And King didn't have close to a bad game. The two defenders were protected really well by the midfield. So even though they had to clean up, you couldn't really see them as much one-on-one with any player. You didn't see Suarez isolated than King. Suarez isolated than Lang to do something with it. But Suarez can't run anyway. So I do think for King, he needs to play at a higher level. I need to play against higher competition. I don't like to use one game to determine somebody's going to get a contract or go overseas or not. The sample size is too small. I don't watch enough Cavaliers. I watch some to make informed decision about Ainsworth. I like Calvin, but I mentioned Calvin. I like Calvin, by the way. I like Calvin. I think Calvin's learned to use his right foot because people are talking about chances. The ball that was played to him inside that he missed control on his left foot. If he took on the outside of his right foot, he may be able to score that goal. But he was the one getting in position to score 3 or 4 times in the game. So I thought Calvin is a decent player. But I didn't see enough of people. I thought the midfield could have done better composure-wise. But I didn't see enough of people to say, you know what, this player was the best player. I thought as a team, the composition of the team was much more imperative and important than the individual performances. Nobody stood out significantly say, you know what, exceptional. Their team, how they play as a team, was the thing that stood out to me most.
All right, so definitely we have the team stood out. All right, so before Eddie talk, let's big up some people in the chat. Kai Wallace, big up yourself. Orlando King, big up yourself. Understand? David J. People, remember to smash the like button so you know other people can get to see what's going on.
Subscribe to me.
Subscribe. You understand? Smash the like button. You understand? Danny Dread, big up yourself. DS Electronics Unlimited, big up yourself. Owen, big up yourself in another place. All right. So big up Patrick Riley, big up yourself. You understand? Dad Smith back. Big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up everybody that came in. Bam Sports TV, bless up yourself. You understand? Big up everybody in the chat. So, my play, I was impressed with the team overall. Overall, I was impressed. I do agree with Cataract, Calvin. I was saying on the stream that I watched, if Calvin Day was a clinical striker, he shouldn't try to control that ball. He shouldn't even try to make it off him body, try to go directly to the goal. Don't try to control that ball because that ball shooting across, you just need that touch just to change the direct. Sorry,
he wasn't trying to control the ball. He was using his left foot to guide into the goal. He wasn't trying to control that.
Oh, it looked like him.
That wasn't a control. He was trying to go to the goal, but he's trying to use his left foot. He's trying to guide it with his outside of his left foot into the goal.
Oh, okay. He messed it across. He messed it up. Yeah. So that's what.
Panel, I'll be right back here. Give me 5 minutes.
All right, cool, Mike.
All right, Mike.
So Calvin, and we just need the players need to work. You understand? A little more harder. That's for me, Eddie.
All right. Quickly for me. I think first of all, I think this game was.
Jason said he was trying to control the ball. I thought, them not tell you look like him not trying to control the ball.
Perspective.
That's what I think.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Hold
on, Eddie, let me give me
your turn. Eddie, give me 1 second, Eddie. You can't control the ball on a 5-yard line. People, stop the nonsense, man. Go ahead, Eddie. Stop the nonsense.
Hold on, before we get into that.
So Cranky, when you were saying that another person can have a perspective and we shouldn't challenge theirs, the man says that control. It's harder to do that, sir.
No. Go ahead, Eddie.
Is it them control it or not? It's supposed to simplify, really. Is it them control it or not? But anyway, I think, as I said before, I think this game was set up for busy athletes. When the game started, the committee said, "Oh, we need to look out for number 10." So I say, "Yeah, busy. I get them big promo there." The committee was like, "Look out for number 10." So I think this was a platform made for busy, and I think him never show up really. I think other players, without being overly good, I think other players stood up more. I really like Leng. I really like his performance, even though he gave up that goal to Suarez. You could see the frustration in his face and disappointment because he was having such a good game. Maybe man of the match. Kudos to King as well. I think King marshaled the back line well. A lot of times the back line dropped deep I could see King pushing them up, say, go up, we need to go up. I like that as well, and I didn't see any real mistake from King. He was Van Dijk-like, I'm not saying he was Van Dijk, but Van Dijk-like. In terms of his composure of Cataract, he was just, the game looked simple for him. Under pressure, he was calm. One of the time, played out from the back, beat about two of the attackers from Miami, and broke the line and played a good ball out. So he was brave as well. But overall, a lot of long balls from the team. So, but it's part of the tactic, I guess. They were afraid to really play through the thirds. So you think they went long every opportunity that they got. The objective, just play it long. We have the runners, play it long. And I must say the team, they ran. So I was impressed with the front line in terms of the energy and the pace for maybe 60 minutes until they're tired. Naturally, they're going to get tired. So those are my takeaways from the Cavalier players. Right, the next question, though, Tigat and panelists. It's on the thumbnail.
We're going into the tour.
On the thumbnail. Yes, on the thumbnail. Rudolph Speid. After the game, the following morning, I messaged Mr. Speid and said, when you're finished with Cavaliers, you need to go to the national team. And him give one of them emoji there, the muscle emoji. So I think that he might have a role to play with the national team. Not now, definitely not now, but I think he must have finished the work when he started with Cavaliers. We've seen a nice progression with Cavaliers over the 2 years now in CONCACAF, making strides. So I think he needs to finish that job. What the job will look like when it's finished, I don't know. Would it mean a team that is regularly qualifying for the championship, going deep in the championship, winning Caribbean Cups? I don't know. Bringing in more players, but I like the system. I like the fact that he's working with youth. But in terms of the national team, I don't think he's ready to make that push. No. Not right now. And people might be killing me in the people might have killed me in the comment section. As I said, not no.
Hold on.
Not no. What are the views on everybody?
Hold on. You see, this late tackle is me editing, so me can't, you understand, me can't disagree. Me have to find some way to agree with Eddie because our thing. All right, our thing. No. All right. So me I go push the agenda if you agree with Eddie. So you understand, the panelists can do for them thing. So what Eddie said, and let's put it in perspective. I'm gonna have a serious conversation, gentlemen. You understand? Because we have bright mind on the thing. Let me put it in perspective. If you look on Mr. Rudolph Speid resume, you understand? If you look at his resume with Cavaliers, you understand? And other coaches that coach Jamaica. You understand? And other coaches that coach Jamaica. Look at Mr. Speid resume. He has won the JPL not once, but twice. You understand? Won the JPL, that's the biggest league in Jamaica. He won it twice. You understand? He went to the championship. The first time he got knocked out of the first round. The second time he went to the second.
No, he actually finished second. He finished second. He went to the final. He finished second.
Right, and then he finished, and then he won it. So if you look at his resume is building up. So we can lay the foundation or lay the argument that if Mr. Speid is qualified to get the job in future, because other coaches coach Jamaica and they never win the National League.
Like Tapa.
Yeah, you understand? Never win it. What? So hold on. So it's a discussion. So we now talk to you, Cataract first.
You have less qualified coaches getting the job.
Yeah, getting the job. So hold on. So we are going to talk it. We're going to put the female first to ask her opinion on the matter. All right. So I agree with Eddie somewhat. But let's Crystal, go ahead. And then we have Cranky.
I think Cranky probably answered this one for me already, to be honest with you. Paraphrasing, I think Cranky said something about sample size, which I think is very crucial in this discussion. I know we're all like, well, maybe just one of us isn't proud of what Mr. Speid did against Inter Miami, but nevertheless, we are proud to a degree to see what he's done. But as Cranky was alluding, that is one game at this level. You know, I agree with you, Tiga. One of the reasons why I admire Cavalier and what Mr. Speid's done with them was it dates back to maybe some 2+3 years ago now, when they won the JPL title for, I believe it was after 41 years of waiting, something of that ilk. And I really started to take note of them. And I was just like, wow, that's massive. Talk about getting the monkey off your back type of thing. So what he has done for football in Jamaica at club level, it can't be denied. You can give him his flowers, you can give him his applause, you can give him his credit. But I like your question, but for the time being, I'm not completely sold on the idea, only because if memory serves me well, I think we've all been watching football for a long enough time to know that certain managers are suiting to certain areas of the game. So be it club level or international level. Sometimes if you mix the two, it probably go up in smoke. Definitely when you're going from club football to international football. And I think there's only been maybe a handful of managers who have done it. I think of late, I think Avram Grant probably tried something similar. Emma Hayes, obviously, she's gone from doing what she did with Chelsea to the USA national team. That is obviously women's football. But there aren't a lot of managers out there that we can think of to say, okay, yeah, they have gone from club football, international football, and also did an outstanding job. I think arguably the greatest manager ever, Sir Alex Ferguson, is one of those managers who did both club football and international football, if I'm not mistaken. But it is very far and few. It's not something that is common. That's not to say that Speid can't pull it off. It's just what, like I said, you know, history kind of speaks for itself, that some managers are just probably better suited to club football than international football. And also, if we're going to talk about Mr. Speid potentially coaching the national team, we also have to talk about the line of integrity. What does that mean for his relationship with Cavalier? Because once you have a relationship, it's there, isn't it? It's you can't deny it. The relationship is there. So there goes the conflict of interest that we always talk about when we're looking at both the men's team and the women's team. So I think it's probably something that is not going to happen just because of the implications, but you never know. It's Jamaica football that you're talking about at the moment. But yeah, I think, again, I agree with Cranky. You really got to press on with that sample size, see what he does over the next couple of years. But if he is going to go to the national team and coach the national team, for me, you probably have to look at coaching, and I don't think it's something that he'd want to do. You have to look at perhaps coaching the underage group first before you jump right into the national setup. Or if he is going to go into the national setup, you can't have that relationship with Cavalier. And is he really going to cut that off? You can't. It's with him now. That's part of his DNA. So I don't really see it happening, but anything is possible these days.
All right. So thank you, Crystal, for that wonderful insight. Now we have the man, the myth, the legend on the program, Jason Guna TV. So before we jump into Jason, before we jump into Jason, Mikey, you're back.
You hear from Mikey or Cataract?
Yeah, I'm hear from yeah. So go ahead, Mikey. You're mute, Mike. Cataract, you stay for last because you stay long. So write down your thing.
No. If every time you go around me, but
no, I'm not tell
because I was the next person in line.
No.
Cataract, that's either you or Mikey.
All right, so go, Mikey.
Not me. Somebody else got just come back. So.
All right, you just come back. All right, let's hear from Cataract. Let's hear from Cataract. Cataract, go ahead. What do you think?
So I'm going to be rapid with my responses.
Very.
And I always have the controversial.
We know your answer already. We know your answer.
So I'm going to fall for the pretty vice. So I'm going to tell you this. Harborview. I watch Harborview play at this level in the CONCACAF region. So this is not a new thing for the Jamaican club. Right? Harborview has done it before at this level in terms of the club competition. Right? So my good friend with the nice commentary has to get her facts correct. Because this
What's
is
your
not.
perception with me? Like, what
Oh,
is your
I didn't interrupt anybody.
Yeah, but
I asked to be uninterrupted
like,
because the facts were
Yeah,
not
you
here,
never
and I am
do that
fact
in a Cataract.
Yeah,
checking.
Cataract, you never have
I am fact checking because if the view
we
is
never
given,
ask a fact check.
Yes, but
You never
that's
ask
what
a
you
fact
do
check,
on the
but
thing.
ask a
So
question.
yes, and I've
No,
answered the
don't
question,
tell me
and
what to
and
do,
it is
but
part of
ask
the
a
answer to the
question.
question. It's part of the answer to the question. Because hold on,
Just leave her, Cataract. Just leave her alone.
Cataract, for the sanity of the pro, Cataract, hold on.
We don't want you to feel like you're bad.
Yeah, because I invite her on the guitar and I don't want every time she make a point, you attack her. You understand? It's International Women's Day.
Women's Day. Make somebody else.
Come on, man.
Make somebody else.
You understand?
All right, so I'll wait for another female.
Stop attacking my guest, Cataract. Please.
Yeah, attack her too much, Cataract.
Okay, fine.
No, we never realized that. No, we never realized that.
But then, because it is part of the thing where you come to Mr. Speid. Because if we believe that this is some unique achievement in Jamaica, then what you're saying is correct, or would even have some thought of merit. If you leave out the fact that this has been done before at this level by other.
Where did I say that it hasn't been done before? Where did I say
with that? Should never lead with that.
Yeah.
Cataract. Should never lead with that as a major point.
His issue is he despised Mr. Speid. So every time that I speak, and I'm going to speak about Mr. Speid because he deserved his flowers. So if you don't like it, tough. You cannot silence me. If I want to give Mr. Speid his flowers, I will give him his flowers. There's nothing that you can do to silence me. I'm not going to be intimidated by your size. So just simmer down because you're being ridiculous.
All right.
I didn't say that it has never been done before.
All right.
So
all right, Krista. All right, Krista.
Notice that
I
don't think
hold on, Cataract. Hold on.
We'll move.
Hold on.
Let us move on now.
We have a new guest on the program. I want to hear a new voice. You understand? So, Jason Guna TV, I appreciate you coming on the program. You understand? I sent out invitation a long time, and I appreciate you coming on the program. So tell me right now what you feel as Mr. Coach, getting being the national coach, even for the under 20 or the national team. What you say? What your perspective?
Senior team. The question is a senior team.
Senior team. Yeah, so for me, I answered the poll. I did participate in the poll. Big up to the panel, big up everybody in the chat. I would say currently no. I think that when you look at the, obviously Cranky has given him the moniker conflicts boss. Everybody talks about his conflict with the JFF and Cavalier. And I think because of that allegiance or alliance, it would be tough for him to take on that job now. He's also the owner of Cavalier. Am I correct in saying that?
I think so. Cranky.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. No. Yes.
Okay.
Partially, am I the owner?
With that being said, I don't see how, even if he was to cut ties as the coach of Cavalier to coach Jamaica, he would still, have ownership of the team. So I don't know how that would really work. We always have issues. I remember when I was growing up, I'm aging myself a bit now, but Horace Reed was the general secretary at the time. He had Portmore. If you look at a lot of the players that were playing for Jamaica from the local league, it was mainly Portmore players, and it was a big thing that they wouldn't look at anybody out on the West. So I don't see how, if Speid becomes the manager or the coach, how we avoid those same issues happening. But I've said this before and I'll say it again. In Jamaica, because of the way the JFF writes its constitution, I don't see how, if Speid steps down from the chairman of the technical committee, there will just be a new boogeyman in that position because he will have been aligned with a club as well. So I don't know how we move forward without having conflicts in the football, because you can't be in the JFF if you're not affiliated to a parish or a club. So I don't know. I know that's kind of a bit further from this conversation, but I think people need to look at that fact when they talk about conflicts in Jamaican football. Is there a way for the JFF to be comprised of people not having conflicts? I don't think there is. So it's something that we just have to manage as we move forward in the football. I don't see how the JFF is going to be comprised of people not aligned to a club if the constitution states that you have to have been a part of a parish association, which would have been a part of a club to be in the parish association. So how do we avoid conflicts in the future ever in Jamaica's football? That to me is a bigger question, which is not in this, but Cranky, I think, has something to say on this. So Cranky, go ahead.
I don't think Dennis or Ricketts are conflicted from what I know in terms of the football. So your question about, do we have the opportunity to be able to do so? I think there is, if you search hard enough, get competent people to be in the football or not club affiliated. And the last point I make about this, sorry, Guna, it's your time, is that we need there's chairman of technical committee, and there's a technical director who runs your football program. Because we don't have a technical director, the person who's chaired the committee, he's basically the de facto technical director. Sorry, Guna, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think with the Ricketts point, I know he was associated to clubs in Clarendon, I want to say, where he's from. That could have been a long time ago. Maybe that is died off. What's that?
Sporting Central.
There you go. And is that club is defunct? No, is it? I don't hear about them anymore.
No, it's defunct, but they still own the Wembley Stadium out in
Center of Excellence. Got you. Where Veer plays. Okay. So yeah, I just don't see how moving forward we won't deal with conflict in the football. You make a good point about Chung, but you have to remember, Chung is the only person hired to get that post. He's not voted. So the general secretary can always be anybody that they deem fit for that position. But all those other positions, whether it's chairman of technical committee, whatever, they're going to have some affiliation to clubs in Jamaica. So I don't know how we would avoid it moving forward. I think they'd have to reword how the Constitution was written so that other people could get a chance to get in there. Because there's a lot of you guys that come on panels, you live in Jamaica, so you satisfy the 10-year requirement. You wouldn't have an affiliation to a club, Eddie, would you? I don't know. Do you have a club that you're affiliated to? No? So there are people out there, but they're not involved enough in the football, clearly, to get a position in the spaces, Or would you only want to make content about JFF? You would never want to be a part of it?
Well, not necessarily. I think them can pay me.
I have a question for Jason. Jason, is it a problem, the construct? Because I look at France, England, the top teams in the world. We don't have a technical committee. You have a technical director or a director of football. If you're an Arsenal man, you have a director of football. Mm-hmm. This technical committee thing is part of the problem. We have a technical director. I disagree with Cranky. His name is Wendell Downswell. But because of how it is set up, he's just sort of like a straw man.
He's just there.
Right?
I miss my point because you're slow. You missed my point. I know Downswell is technical director.
Yeah,
you just said I said something wrong, which I didn't. We don't have a technical director. If we had one, it'd be functioning.
No, but the reality is, and for facts, today just call me Mr. Facts. They do have a technical director.
No, you don't.
We have.
So don't tell me you have one. I haven't seen him.
I've seen him.
Don't try to correct me, Cataract. Don't try to correct me because you're wrong. If we had one functioning,
come out once a year.
Let me complete. When things go wrong, like with the youth teams, then everybody remember that we have a technical director named Downswell. When everything is going well or whatever, no one says Downswell. I believe that we need to appoint a fully competent technical director, abolish this technical committee crap.
But Cataract,
or a director of football that looks about the national program, including the hiring and firing of coaches and the assessment of Jamaican teams when they do well and when they do not do well. But to your cogent question about whether Mr. Speid should coach the national team, never, ever, ever. And I am on record, and I'm going to go again on record and say, we're not politics. I'm known to watch political maneuvers and those things. I learn it. That's what I do day to day. As God is my witness today, if Jamaica qualify for the World Cup, I stand here and say, you will see Mr. Speid on the sidelines of the Reggae Boyz. You understand? That's my perspective. And that is what I am so objectly against. The winningest coach in Jamaica, league or otherwise, is Theodore
Tapa Whitmore. And he was undermined during the last part of his tenure. This bond me. Undermined by the technical committee. The man who I watched in France, bedazzle Japan, and gave me the proudest moment of my life. That's why I'm a supporter of Tapa Whitmore. And I believe had he been given the same remunerations, the same trips to go sit down and watch in England and watch players, and for all his other weaknesses, he's not a good communicator. But for me, the most accomplished coach locally, domestically on the island. I know the brethren is in Qatar or Kuwait, a brethren there. His name slipped me right now. I'm passionate about this. But for me, if anybody should stand on a sideline next in line to be an assistant coach or a coach or a technical director, it would be Theodore Tapa Whitmore. And each time I watch league football, Tapa's team don't fall more than second in the league for whichever club him the most, right? He has demonstrated himself. He has a respect amongst the local players. They respect him, and they respect him because of the body of work he has done, both as a player and being a people person, a player's coach. He's a kind of a player's coach, and that is his weakness, as part of his weakness. But I do not believe that by one match and one decent result, right? Decent result is a decent display on the field. Decent. Good, if some people might say, but decent to me. That all of a sudden we're now elevating a question.
Not one match.
Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on, Chatter. One match. Just let me finish and ask you. Were you making this call last year when he came up against Robin Hood of Suriname and they failed?
Yes, yeah, hold on. That's why we said, I know it's one match, you understand? But that's why we said we look at his resume. He won 2 JPL and he was in the same competition, came second, and then he win it. That's why I'm gonna put that out there, you know. That's why I'm gonna put. Don't say one match.
And also to be fair, Tigat, the same competition that Speed just won, Tapa and Mount Pleasant was in it, you know, and they didn't get through. So that's not a good look as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. All right. So hold on. So big up. Hold on.
Is this comment accurate about Carl Brown?
Yeah, I was gonna say it. Yeah, Gunner's boss gave that.
We know Gunner's boss was around in the 80s, so it's
that was a good one. Yeah,
so
that's a good one.
This is very interesting.
Yes. Hold on, people. Hold on. May I big up Bam TV, the man with the transfer. You understand? So big up yourself, Bam TV. Yeah, you understand, the Jamaica. Yeah, so this statement is true and it's accurate. Carl Brown was indeed the coach of Boys Town, and also he became the national. What he was, I don't think he was a national coach. I don't think he was.
Yeah, man, he was a coach.
Yeah, I know he was at some point.
Yeah, but he was the coach of Boys Town too. So yeah, that statement is correct.
Can I say something? Hold on,
you have an even bigger one. You have an even bigger one.
Hold on,
Katar.
In the 70s, come go further back. When Duncan was the coach of Cavaliers, he was the coach of Jamaica, and 5 and 10 Cavaliers in that team. When Jackie Bell was the coach of Santos, and Santos and Jamaica was playing, Santos had 10-11 man on the team. So it goes back that coaches of teams in Jamaica has been coach of a club and at the same time coach of Jamaica. So not only Carl Brown, Duncan was the owner of Cavaliers before, I guess, Speed, and now you have Jackie Bell, who was the owner of Santos. He was a national coach.
Is this 2025? What year is this?
No. We're making the point. We're making the point.
Yes, you guys are making point. People. We have. This is 2020. You hear what John Wall says when the reporter asking the question, talking about 98. His head almost burst. That was 27 years ago. We're talking from the 80s and the 70s. Why don't we go back to the 50s and the 40s and the 30s? Like people really. We're asking retaurical questions.
Go back to the 40s.
But we might as well go back to the 40s and 30s. We start playing football in the 30s. You guys are frustrating me.
Hold on, Qatar.
One at a time.
Hold on, Cataract. 2 person is the host of the show.
Yeah, was a talk.
You understand? 2 person. Eddie Guna, T-God. All right. The point was made if person who have club affiliation can coach a national team. You understand? So we're just making that point that people in the past did it. That's all. You understand? We're back in the 2025. We're one of the people in the past.
Yeah, we're back in 2025 now.
Yeah. All right. Bam TV. What you have to say about the thing? Oh, Keta, hold on, Bam, before you go. Keta, you have to say something? Yeah, you never answered the question.
I was saying the question that you raised is a cogent question because all those examples, the national team failed. I was not familiar with. I came in a later Carl Brown era, right? The one that came to me was when Patrick Walters was the coach of the junior side, right? And he was the coach of, I think it's Clarendon College, and all the players used to go to Clarendon College, and that's when, for me, that's when we kind of stopped qualifying. After the Kemo Williams and the Keith Kelly and Woolery Wolf era, when we went to an era now where the coach is conflicted and the coach and the club or his school team become intermeshed and intertwined with the national team. So it's not a good look and not a good model. Right? And in the end, for Mr. Speid to become the coach, he would have to hire himself. Because he does the hiring and firing.
All right, cool. That's a good point. All right, Cataract. Not Cataract. Cranky.
You guys read what my opinion on this? Because my opinion is well known, My opinion. Look, there is so much things you have to go through to even consider this. We talked about the person being the owner, head of the technical committee. We talked about the person being coach of Cavaliers, the technical director of Cavaliers. Everything about Cavaliers is him. We talk about levels. So we want to bring Mason Greenwood come. And when I give Mason Greenwood a big coach, where he can respect and have strategy and way to do things a certain way. A local coach in Jamaica, I would love for Jamaica to get his coaches out there to get to a certain level, to be able to coach at the highest level. The problem I have with Jamaica a lot of times is it seems like it's a look of family tree. Everybody just do things for each other. There is no clear demarcation between roles and people, whether it's in the government, whether it's in politics, whether it's in legal, it's the same way it operates. You go check, because I did something on the Prime Minister the other day, about a few months ago. You go check how those things work. So, would I see that person being the coach? He's going to give up all these other roles? Chairman Technical Committee? Cavalier own, he's going to give all those roles to become coach? Or he's going to do all the jobs simultaneously? I don't know how that works. Secondly, what has he done that he's not expected to do to say he has the resume to coach at a certain level? Has he beaten any team outside the Caribbean? I've said this 100 times. The Caribbean should no longer be a benchmark for anything about football for Jamaica. So what has he done outside of the Caribbean to substantiate he should go coach the national team because now he's exceeded expectation? I gave him his credit for what he did against Inter Miami, but he did lose. Did he beat Inter Miami? Did he beat Cincinnati? Did he beat the team from... Let's just think about these things when we're making these comparative and asking those questions.
The time they're coming to Jamaica.
but the point I'm making is this.
Hold on. I just get a little bird or something. A breaking news that Messi might not be playing in Jamaica. He may be coming back.
Did Messi play the other day? Did Messi play in Miami?
That's a big show.
No, the thing's already sold out, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, did Messi? It doesn't matter. But did Messi? The point I'm trying to make, I'm making a long story, which is this: Jamaica is trying to go someplace football-wise. We're trying to recruit the best players we can get. We're trying to create the best environmental players. Because people believe that Cranky don't want any local player, any local person to be involved in the football. That is nonsense. I know this for a fact. Should I say this? That the JFF does want to hire a technical director for its football team, but it's expensive. I know pian money, as them say at Jamaica. To get the technical director that they would like.
Isn't the TD paid for by FIFA?
I don't, but I have some conversations. Let's just have some conversations. I was given a number. It's a big number. It's a big number. And they just come into their financial situation. You're saying FIFA pay for it. I don't know if FIFA pay for it. Because if there was, why would they even care? Why would they care? Why would they care?
That's a part of their laws.
Right. But I'm saying, but why would they care? If FIFA pays for it, then I'm not sure why wouldn't they even hire one. Well, but I know for a fact that they want to get, look, the JFF is trying to improve in all facets, whether it's marketing, whether it's media, generating revenues. When they have money, they will do more things. My thing with the JFF that I've always been pushing against is that get the best people for the jobs so you can try to get the best outcome. You can't use this colloquial thing that you normally do and this thing about, man, if you eat our food, and that's the way you make decisions. That can't be the way to make decisions. So my hope is that they'll get to a place where they bring the best people in and we'll have the national team. But to make the long story short, at this point in time, you guys know what my answer is.
All right, big up yourself, Cranky. So right at this time, we have BAM Sports TV coming in. Bam. So tell us what, I know you've been watching, you understand? So tell us what you think about any of the topic. If you want to talk about the game.
Make him talk about speed.
The game, hold on, man.
You've seen a lot of Cavalier. You've seen a lot of Cavalier.
Or you want to talk about Speed being the promoted to be the national coach. Bam, you're on.
Yeah, good night, everyone. Special good night to Crystal. Tigat, what are you saying I didn't watch? I want to get that clear first. What did I never watch?
No, if you didn't watch the program, the show matter, this show.
Oh yes, I was. How would I get the link? Wasn't the link in the comments?
Okay, go ahead, sir. Give us
I was watching the show. I was watching before. I was watching like about 20 minutes before JC came on.
Okay.
Yes, I think I caught a good portion of it. So as it relates to the game, I thought it was a good display from Cavalier. I mean, on another day they could have gotten a different result, maybe something more positive. Even a lot of people was saying that Inter Miami would have run over them. I was invited to a podcast the day before the game. I don't remember the name of the podcast now, but it's one of those Inter Miami fun podcasts where they only talk about Inter Miami and they were previewing the game, and the consensus from the guests and stuff, or from the host, was that the game probably would have ended 4-1, 3-1, depending on if Messi played or not. Because they actually believe that Inter Miami is a very slow and old team, and even though they have like quality players like Busquets and those players, they felt that if they played a team that was, I guess, younger and more fitter physically and stuff, they could have posed a problem. So that was interesting from their perspective, given that they follow Inter Miami a lot. So I actually thought it was a pretty good display from Jamaica, from Cavalier, from a Jamaican perspective. Players, I wouldn't say I was totally impressed by any of the players, for example, because I watched JPL a lot. I didn't think I did anything that was extremely surprising to me, because I really watched the JPL a lot, so I am a little bit familiar with the players. So I wouldn't say I was overly surprised. I think if I would have been overly surprised by a player, it would have been Jerome McCleary. Even though he's been a Cavalier for a while, he's not necessarily one of the first names on the team sheet. So I was a little bit surprised that he played for the entire game. As it relates to tactics, I thought, as Cranky said, Cavalier could have probably made some changes earlier. Personally, I thought Aubrey could have been introduced earlier as well, given how he's performing this competition for Cavalier, and even the JPL when he comes on as a substitute or when he starts. I guess probably the momentum and just the mood of the game maybe didn't come on earlier, and also he have a second leg, so maybe he'll feature more in that encounter. I thought the player that Cavalier brought in from Suriname, really give them a good edge. Richters, he used to play for SV Robin Hood. So I thought his addition to their squad was really good. Moving along now to Speid being the coach of national team. Well, I mean that is kind of a tricky point. I mean with the whole talk of conflicts and everything going around and stuff. I don't think that's something that he would do. I mean, I've spoken to him and I've seen him spoke on platforms, and he doesn't seem interested at this point in coach a national team. He thinks the work he's doing as a technical chairman of technical committee is more important to development of Jamaica's football as opposed to coaching. But I mean, if we were to select a coach, like a local coach a national team, I would think his name would be in the mix, given what he's accomplished with his very young team. And he's also consistently been Cavaliers consistently been one of the better teams in the Jamaica Premier League. I mean, like since they would have been relegated and come back, they would have been to the playoff run like every single season. And have been a contender. They haven't always won, but they would have been a contender. And I mean, it's just him. And they have always been one of the youngest teams, if not the youngest teams in the competition. So I don't see how you could have a conversation with local coaches in the mix and he would not be in it. So yeah, that's my perspective on that. And but like I said, I mean, I don't know. He doesn't sound as if he's interested in that though, but who knows? Maybe with time and also I think he's the most qualified local coach in Jamaica now too. So it's impossible for you to have a list and he would not be a part of it.
I have a question though, Bam. Kyle Harvey, we see him normally come on and do extremely well. I don't know why he's not starting, but you say he might start the next game, but start over who? I don't see him starting over Calvin, Atkins or Stein. So he would
I think okay, so I think the acquisition of Richters really is what can put him on the bench, because before Richters it would have been him, Stein, Calvin, and Busy. So where Richters is playing now, Busy would have been playing there, and he would have been able to play on one of the flanks. But like Richters is a really talented player. Last season when SV Robin Hood beat Cavalier in the final, he literally sunk them. He was just arguably the best player on the pitch. So I was a little bit surprised that he joined Cavalier, given his exploits in for Robin Hood. But I thought he's a good addition to their squad.
Yeah, fair enough. Any more questions for the JPL specialist? Bam?
Yeah, Bam. One question on McCleary. I'm looking at the squad that they used, and you're saying you were surprised he started and played 90 minutes, but I don't see many other options on the bench besides the young guy that used to play for Stats, Xavier Gooden. So,
well, actually, Gooden has been the one playing right back for most of the JPL season.
Okay, so he has been because in the Caribbean Cup, it was McCleary playing all the games and not him. So I don't know if
Gooden was playing in the Manning Cup at that time.
Okay.
But since the Manning Cup ended and since Gooden has been back, he's been playing right back, or sometimes they use Adrian Reed
as a right back. Okay.
Correct. Yeah. So I thought they probably would have gone for Reed again, but like McCleary has been one of those players that has been at Cavalier for maybe a couple seasons now. I think he came there the same time as Calvin, and they were like fringe players for the most part until Calvin really improved his game. But I was a little bit surprised that he played the right back, because even early in the season they were using a player that they got from a former Mopesant Academy player, Damani Miller, who is a CDM. He was also being used as right back, but I think throughout the latter part of the second round of the JPL, you could say that maybe Speid was using that as a practice for the CONCACAF because I saw players playing in different positions which they didn't normally play. And so maybe he was just trying to figure out his best team. But yeah, I was surprised that be given that good news back that Matera played well back, which I actually think he played well as well.
Yeah, I thought so too.
All right, we're going to segue into Ian Fray, another Jamaican that was on the pitch that a lot of us were
Final
actually
topic for the
watching.
night.
Yeah, we're actually watching to see his performance. He has Jamaican roots. I'm going to make Cataract take this one because he mentioned him earlier. For me, but he wasn't really impressive in his performance. Actually tried to win a penalty, kind of dive. He was beaten a lot of times down his side. Got a yellow card as well. Wasn't good for him. Was very slow. Couldn't keep up with the pace of the Cavalier players. But Cataract, your take on Ian Fray's performance for Inter Miami?
I had a question for Bomb Sports, but I was going to ask him where does he he said you couldn't have a conversation without Mr. Speid's name in it for a domestic-based coach. And I'd ask him if the same would apply for Theodore Tapa Whitmore. Could we have a conversation about a domestic national coach without Tapa's name in there? But Ian Fray was rubbish.
Answer to your question is no.
Sorry. Is no, which one? Sorry.
He said no.
The answer to your question is no. You couldn't have a list of local coaches without Tapa's name either.
Oh, okay. Respect. So we're in agreement. So Ian Fray now, he was rubbish, mate. I don't watch MLS, right? I'm just telling you, because I'm brother. I watch football, but I watch with the pretty up thing, Listen, I've heard the name, right? Okay. I don't watch MLS, so this was my first time. Players who I wanted to watch was Richard King, because I wanted to see how he would have handled himself. I wanted to watch Ian Fray. I also wanted to watch Adrian Reed, who I didn't think covered himself in glory, but just ordinary. And I wanted to watch him because I remember when he was elevated to the national team and we were told he was the next Messiah in waiting, in development for the CDM role, central midfield role. Ian Fray was rubbish, mate. So all of the man them that were talking about Ian Fray, I would love to know what it is that they saw. Because I can't remember one good thing the brother did on the field. But can't remember one good thing. And for me, one of we always talk about the persons. Frankie especially talks about Lowe and his panache to get a card. This brother just pick up a card for no reason, apart from the fact that he could not manage the job that he was given against a semi-professional team. So Ian Fray, go and stay in Miami, go and watch some pelican, go and eat some alligator nuggets. Yeah. And then nobody go to embassy for your passport. That's my view. Based on what I say. Nobody go. Nothing. I could list. I think if you were looking at the reverse on Cavalier, you would have to sit on the Cavalier bench based on the performance of that game, right? And if you were picking like a team of the match based on their performance, he couldn't make it over his Cavalier counterpart. So I don't know if people were just seeing a name and hearing a name and just a talk about the brethren. But if somebody else saw something different, I would love to hear. But he was rubbish, man.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so I don't think I would be quite as dramatic as Cataract to tell him not to get a passport. But I mean, for me, in terms of Ian Fray, the first thing, I was relieved that he was able to play the entire game and not being stretchered off. Ian Fray is probably 23 or 24, and he has already had 3 ACL surgeries. The fact that he played a full game and wasn't stretchered off.
He's 22.
22, see? Even worse. But the fact that he played a full game and wasn't stretchered off, I think is good enough. I'm happy for that. But I would have seen Ian Fray play a couple times for Inter Miami in the MLS. And let's just say, I think he's at better days. I didn't think he had the best of games. And I think maybe Cataract probably don't want to look at him again. But I think I seen him play in the MLS, and he's looked a lot better. Also, the fact that every time he's seemingly recovered, Inter Miami is always trying to get him back on the pitch to play, suggests that they think he has some real good qualities. So I hope if he stays injury free, people will see more of him. I mean, I've seen players come from the MLS and not as good as him, and they have been in and around national teams. So yeah, that's me.
All right. So Cranky, you want to crack at it? And then we have Jason.
As I've said numerous times in this program, I've only seen him. I don't like to judge people on very small sample size. What I saw in the game, I don't think it reached to the level where I say, you know what, this is somebody I would pursue vigorously, bring to the national team. I thought, and maybe part of it is Cavaliers' athleticism, right? Because sometimes people are quick around you. You don't have the same. I thought he wasn't a right back, though. I thought he was more in the middle of the field that he played. So I was surprised to see him at right back. Is he normally a right back, or is he a center back CDM?
He can play all three positions.
Yeah,
he can play all three positions: center back, right back, or CDM.
Because I'm thinking if I put or a CDM at right back, how would he function? He'd probably struggle, right? So I'm always very cautious not to judge based on one game, or a person who may have like a Partey plays right back, but he's not a right back. Watch him play football. I don't like to judge people that way. I want to see him in his best position and how he performed there. He's decent on the ball. So I wouldn't say he's rubbish. He's decent on the ball. From an athleticism standpoint, he wasn't as quick at the position required, and he's playing against some quick players. So let's see him play in the middle of the park and how he performed before we come to a conclusion that he's rubbish.
Let's hear from Talawa. Don't want you to fall asleep over there. Crystal?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You're still here?
Yeah, I'm a bit like the lads, Bram and by the way, good evening, Bram, and good evening, Jason Guna. I don't even know if I'm reiterating myself, but if I am, then sorry. Yeah, just in agreement with what Bam and also Cataract said. Me personally, I've not seen enough of him to say yes or no. And in terms of the game against Cavalier, I'm not making excuses for him, but maybe, again, just echoing what Bam said in terms of how highly Inter Miami rate him. Clearly, he is a player that they feel that they can, one, have a lot of belief in, and also can rely on him when called upon. And I'm saying that because prior to some days ago, he had a red card that was rescinded. I think that was to do with, right? So I'm thinking, in hindsight, I am trying to. I mean, assumption isn't always a good thing, but I am assuming, again, because of the importance that he plays within the team, he's probably thinking, because of the magnitude of these two-legged fixture, that he don't really want to pick up a red card, because he is coming off the back end of a red card, like you said, being rescinded, right? So, but again, like I said, I've not seen enough of him to say that I don't want him to represent the national team, but maybe perhaps two-legged fixture. He knows he has to come to Jamaica. One thing he's already spoken about coming to Jamaica, and I think he said something along his family will be in the stands, trying to get tickets for his family to come into the stands. I'm sure that's something that he wants to partake in, isn't it? Playing in on what could potentially be home soil, and playing in front of his family. I'm sure that means something to him. Whether that played a role in his game, perhaps not, but I've definitely not seen enough of him to say, I don't want you to play for my national team, because we've seen some atrocious players play for us, if we're being honest with ourselves. He's right back, yeah. You said it, not me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes, yeah, I've not seen enough, unfortunately. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true, and that's the case for almost all of us. But Mike, let's hear from Mike.
Same here. He look good on the ball, but this is the first time I actually seen him play. I don't watch Inter Miami.
Yeah.
So let's see what him do Thursday. And we can maybe make a little better judgment. And then I can start look at him and try catch him on more Inter Miami games to see how him look. But for now, they're not ready yet.
Jason.
Yeah, so I think I am kind of like split down the middle on his performance. I thought the first half he was really bad. He was struggling. He picked up that yellow card. But I thought in the second half he kind of came to grips with the pace of Cavalier and he wasn't getting caught out nearly as much. If you notice in the first half, really, his Cavalier's highlight was the first half, right? And I think whatever, I don't know if it was a coach's tweak or what it was in the second half, but he looked a lot more comfortable. One thing I will say, I agree with Mikey on the ball. His ball retention is excellent. So I kind of lean towards players like that because I think that's something that Jamaica struggles with as a team. So the more players we can get that are comfortable on the ball, I do agree that physically, if you put him in the right backs role, it can be problematic because he's had 3 ACL injuries. He's not the fastest to begin with. So I definitely saw that as well. But I just think that his skill set and what he can do, we have deficiencies in that central midfield. We have deficiencies at right back as well. So I don't think that I can say that performance made me not want him to play. And just one correction, Cataract said, don't bother get the passport or whatever. He already has it. So there's no need for him to get one. He already has it.
You see that Cataract?
Last
correction.
So he doesn't need Cataract to get him one, right? No,
yeah. The man good. The man have
everybody, hold on. So go, Eddie. Everybody pretty up things. You know, so me and I'm talk hardcore like I'm deal with my football. But everybody said the same thing. He had a rubbish game. The man is saying, boy, I should I
didn't say the word rubbish.
I said I said the word rubbish. And I said, pretty much everybody is saying it in a very nice way.
No.
I will. Oh, so you said he was a good game then?
I said the first half he struggled. That's literally what I said. I said the second half he got a lot better. That's what I said.
Yeah, but
don't say everyone is saying the same thing. If you said he said it was rubbish, don't include me in that. I didn't say that.
Right. So if a man struggle and get a 1 out of 10 in the first half, and then he move up to 4 out of 10 in the second half, that means he improved. But means still overall performance was bad, dismal.
If you want to look at the actual statistics, he got a 7.1 for the game. So I don't know where the 1 and the 4 coming from.
Well, that's a stats sport, and you know well that the stats is not the game. People can play a game to run up stats. Nice little short passes that don't really progress anything. I don't know. I didn't watch his stats. I'm saying to you that for me, that was not the performance of the player that I heard people talking about. I will get another piece of sample size. I'm not going to watch MLS because I don't have the time to. I have other important games to watch. I have the EFL, I have Leeds to watch, and we sit on top of the world in the second world. But
you'll be right back there next year. Don't worry.
Oh no, we are Premier League next year. Premier League next year.
All right, in 2 years. Sorry.
I think we are Southampton now. Cronky is correct about sample size. So this is really my first time watching the kid, watching the Virgin. Right? So in bad, poor, below average, not ready for national football or even in a conversation. Now he can turn it around at the second game and maybe impress us. But I'm also remembering a coach. I'm not sure if his what a man who used to coach Nottingham Forest, who used to taught them thing there. So the best ability is availability. Brian Clough. So best ability of a player is to be available. Is availability, right? The thing with and I remember playing in England. They used to Darren Anderton used to play for Tottenham Hotspur. Nice midfielder, but I had to call him sick note. Because every time him come with a sick note from his mother. He can't play, right? So I'm wondering if whether he will he could even translate into an international squad player based on availability. Kind of remind me of Dr. Glass, aka Kevin Stewart. just not built for international football. Just go and concentrate on your career and make your money. But Reggae Boyz are not for you.
Okay, gents and ladies. One last question. Expectations for the second leg in Kingston. That's it. What are your expectations?
All right, starting with Jason. The expectation.
All right, my expectations for the return leg. I think that now that Mascherano has a game to watch and analyze, I think that's going to be a problem for us, honestly, because I saw some adjustments he made at halftime that made the game a lot easier for them. One of the things I saw Speid do in the first half, he pretty much put a person to man mark Busquets, and anybody that watches Inter Miami knows everything goes through Busquets. Now, in the first half, they kept trying to force feed Busquets, and he got picked off a few times, and that's how we got some chances. If you notice, in the second half, they literally just used Busquets as a decoy. They put the other midfielder to get every ball, and they could just play anywhere they wanted to play. So my advice to you, Mr. Speid, the number 55 also is very good on the ball and can build the play as well. So pay a little bit of attention to him next time. So I think with some adjustments, we can do something. I hear a lot of people saying the pitch will be the great equalizer. As you know, sometimes it can be when teams come to play. But, you know, I see Panama come to the stadium and play football. I see Haiti come to the stadium and play football. So I think Inter Miami will do the same. So I don't really think that the field can be something that we can count on. I'm hopeful that the fans, though, can give an extra boost to the players, because even if, you know, it's up in the air whether Messi will play or not, I think, you know, the game has been marketed like Messi will be there. So I think people have purchased tickets. So my hope is that the stadium can give them a lift, because they will need it. But the problem I see is that we didn't get that away goal, and CONCACAF is in the prehistoric times and they still use the away goal rule. So, you know, if Inter Miami gets one goal, it's going to be extremely difficult. I don't see this Cavalier team being able to beat them by 3. So it's going to be tough, because you have to go into the game knowing that you can't concede a goal, but you need 2. So, you know, he's going to have to be very strategic in how he approaches this. But my expectation is that they're going to fall a little bit short. I just don't think that they can turn it around enough to get the result. My hope is, though, that they can get a goal, right? If they can get a goal, and preferably the first goal, then you never know what can happen. You never know what can happen. But I expect it to fall just a bit short, honestly.
All right, Crystal, you're up.
I think it's unfortunate, but as we've seen with the first leg, football is a results game at the end of the day, isn't it? You need goals to win matches, and I think that's where they're lacking. Obviously, we all know how they got to the present, but in terms of now dealing with the present and this game, that clinical ability is their biggest issue at the moment. You know, not being able to put the ball in the back of the net. That's a massive negative on their behalf. In an ideal world, I would love for them to get a goal or 2 before the end of the first 45, but it just looks more far-fetched than anything. So I think it's going to be overall Inter Miami winning this. It would be nice to see if we could throw the sink at them, go all out, pressure them, as they say, pressure bust pipe. But again, I think at this point it does seem like a little bit of a wishful thinking. I think we should have just taken our chances on their turf, on their home turf, and then see where we go, especially with the goals on aggregate that they have to catch up to. And I think going into this game, going into the first leg, I think Mascherano did what we see. As I said, I'm going to echo myself when we were doing the live stream with CC and the Reggae Boyz and Girls Supporters Club. I think Mascherano, whether it's intentionally or unintentionally, he does what we have seen at international levels when you have the more economically developed countries pretty much sticking their noses up at the lower economically developed countries. And you see it quite often, You know, you probably saw it at the FIFA Women's World Cup when Haiti played against England, and England were being quite snobbish, looking down at Haiti, not really doing their homework on Haiti, and it almost cost them. Like, Haiti could have beaten them. And I think you kind of saw something quite similar with Inter Miami. I think they went into that game with their own naivety, with their own little biasness, where they probably looked at a team like Cavalier and just say, that's a sprint nation. Jamaica is just a sprint nation. You know, you're not about football. You're about athletics. And I would have liked to have seen that bite them in the ass. But again, that clinical ability, that clinical prowess just isn't there, or wasn't there for Cavaliers. And just like what Jason Guna said, by now Mascherano would have had a check. He would have had a check. Come the end of that first 45, he would have realized that, okay, like, they can actually play football. The athleticism in this team can't be denied. And had they had it their way, they could have got something out of that match. But again, I would have loved, in an ideal world, I would have loved for their cockiness, this little attitude that they came into the game with, where there was just like, okay, yeah, we can definitely afford to rest Messi because you're just a little sprint nation. We're better than you. I would have loved for that to backfire on them, but it didn't. But overall, I think they're going to go all the way, and I think it's going to be, unfortunately, Inter Miami sailing through.
Okay, good. Cranky, no, Mr. Cranky. Mikey, you're up. Then Cranky, and then Cataract and Bomb Sports close it up.
Well, I take the game in Jamaica, I think it will end 1-1. That is my take. If Messi play, it's going to be 2-1 to Miami. I doubt he's going to play. He may change and warm up on the field, but I don't think he's going to play. If Mr. Speid can improve his midfield play, we have a better chance. The midfield wasn't there in the game. Just like every Jamaican midfielder look like. We have a midfield problem in Jamaica and a right back problem. But I just think that Cavalier is going to hold them to a draw this time and make themselves proud. You understand me? This team is an experienced team I'm playing against, and the field not going to make a difference. Quality is quality. These guys, although they're old and slow, but they know what they're doing. So 1-1.
Okay. Cranky.
Yeah, look, Miami is a very, very experienced team with players who have played at every level, play at the highest level, even though they're probably past their prime, most of them, but they still have technical ability. Cavaliers can't change, right? They are who they are. They can't change overnight. I don't expect material change on how they play. The question is going to be, are they going to be more vulnerable now because they're chasing goals, right? They have to score more than 2 and don't give up a goal. So how do you achieve that? You have to take more chances. When you take more chances, you're going to be more susceptible. So how will that work? You can't really sit back and soak up pressure and hope to counter because you need goals. So you can't play the waiting game like you do in the first leg. So I'd be very curious to see what strategy Rudolph employs in this game because he has a conundrum. And secondly, if Messi plays, as Jason alluded to, then he has to man-mark 2 players. Can't man-mark 1 player. I was thinking in the first leg of Messi plays, you man-mark Messi because he doesn't play defense. He only plays offense. You mark him out of the game. You sacrifice 2 players. Let the others beat you. If he plays, then you have more problems because you can't afford to sacrifice more than 1 player because he's going to be out of position a lot given the experience of players you're playing with. So I don't expect Cavaliers to advance, to be frank. Would I be shocked if they do? Not really. Miami looks really slow. But the Miami I saw against KC is not the Miami I saw against Jamaica, which I found really interesting, actually. But the athleticism will going to work for them. I don't think the field is going to be a problem. The field doesn't allow you to control the ball unless the ball is played on the ground bouncing up. And we struggle with the basic elements, foundation of football. I watched that game. The control is not on point. The passing is not on point. And I'll say this again like 1,000 times. We got to teach kids how to play football. So when they get to these games, because nobody's talking about the possession stats. Because I hear people saying, well, possession is is overrated. Really? You go watch the best teams in football and see what the position stats suggest. You go look at the best teams, whether it's Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, the old Man City against the new Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. You go look at the position stats. And when PSG dominated Liverpool the other day, who had the possession? It's important in football because for a number of reasons, it allows you to rest. That's the first thing. Because when you have the ball, you have to chase the ball, which then burn you out. So I hope we win the game and I hope we advance, but I'm not optimistic.
Looks like Cataract will close.
Cataract, your time, and then what? Bam gone?
Bam disappear.
All right, so Cataract, close it off, and then do your turn, and then Eddie and I will close it off. Cataract, you're up.
I'm just a neutral in this. I have no dog in the fight. I'm neither cheering for Cavalier, and I'm certainly not cheering for Inter Miami.
Stick with that. Yeah, stick with the argument.
Start or end that. I stand on business, bro. Inter Miami is a team that is from our second greatest rival of the Reggae Boyz, USA, after Trinidad. So I could never cheer for a USA team or a Trinidad.
So come on, you can't cheer for Jamaican team for one, Cataract.
So let me in my thing and say to you. When I looked in the stadium, all the people who tell me that Cavalier was representing Jamaica, when I look in the stands, when I saw the thing, I see a one man with a flag, I see a brother in a Jamaica shirt. I didn't see all the Jamaicans swarming to the Miami Stadium to welcome and support the representative of Jamaica. I'm going to look at the game on Thursday, and in my humble estimation, it's going to be a if it's 35,000, like for real, it'll be like 34,500 Messi fans and 500 Cavalier fans. So I don't believe it's going to be like a home advantage, like as what people are thinking. I believe the majority of the people who come there will be coming to cheer on Messi and to see Messi, right? The football in me says to me that Inter Miami is going to go through. They've already secured the result at home. All they need to do is to score an away goal and Bob's your uncle. So let's see. If Cavalier goes gung-ho at them, as some suggest, and, get after them, I believe Inter Miami has the skill set to pick you apart because don't care how they age. Busquets, Alba, they know to pass a ball over 10 yards. They still can find that incisive pass to rip a defense together because you don't need speed for that. You need speed of thought, right? And in all of the measurement, again, I'm going to be looking to see how Richard King comes up against Suarez. And let's just remember, Suarez is 38 years old, right? At the end of his career. So that'll be a little measuring. That'll be a measuring stick for me because I'm looking to see where King falls in the pecking order of central defenders that we have. Because you know that my boy at Sheffield Wednesday, not my boy, I don't really like that player. Sheffield Wednesday, Deshaun Bernard is injured. So I'm seeing who can step up. Question marks over Mason Holgate. I'm not a Mason Holgate fan. So I'm looking at things to see towards my national team. Right? Again, I'm going to keep an eye out on Christopher Ainsworth. Again, to see how he handles himself at a tender age. Looking again at Adrian Reed to see what it is that everybody was seeing and why he was force-fed into the national program. But I'm not going to be looking at Ian Fray. If he happens to glimmer the eye, fine. But I'm going to wash my hand here. I think
After one game, Keter. After one game?
Bro.
I didn't hear about the sample size. By the way, all right, thank you.
I'm saying the national stadium turf, I'm looking to see how it is and how all of that thing is going on in terms of, I know it's a champs and whatever. We still supposed to be playing at Sabina, or are we now going to be able to play at the national stadium?
Sabina.
Right. So that would be weird. And All in all, again, my whole hope is that I hope that teams come out injury free. At least the Jamaican team, Cavaliers, that none of the players get injured. They complete their 90 minutes or however any minutes, so that if they are selected, they'll be available for the national team. And certainly for the domestic league, because the domestic league augurs well when the players are fit, and it's the best playing the best. Yeah. So it's a wait and see for me. Just watching the game as a neutral.
Okay.
No dog in the fight.
All right, cool. All right, so I just see there was a comment on the screen by Leader himself. You understand? It's there is a big surprise coming for Miami in Miami in Kingston.
No.
I don't know. That's what I mean.
I mean, Ronaldo come play for Cavaliers.
So there's a big surprise coming. So you know the Leader is the chief scout. You understand? So let's see. Yeah, let's see what the big surprise is. All right, so we want to thank everybody for joining on the panel and have a wonderful discussion. I want to especially thank Crystal from Talawa TV to come up. Thank Jason to come, Cranky from Cranky Life to come, and also we want to thank Mikey. Mike. And Bam for come. Everybody come. Wonderful.
People subscribe to the YouTubers then. Right?
Definitely.
Bam Sports
and you can see the you can see
TV.
you can see the bright
Talawa
you
TV.
understand? Them have a whole part Intel. They tell you guys the content is big. So you can go over there, check out Bam, check out Jason, check out Cranky and Cranky Life. You understand? Cataract always depend a lot of program, you know, giving his this check out Crystal. So you see Crystal really break down every question that we ask. She really break it down and she just give a solid answer. So check out Talawa TV, you understand, with Crystal. So I want to thank you, everybody. Thank everybody in the comment section. Gunners Boss, big up yourself, you understand. Everybody, we can't call him. A lot of people were there.
The chat live. Big up the chat.
Big up everybody, you understand, and big up everybody for coming out and support us on this wonderful show, Late Tackle. So from Eddie and I want to say big respect and thank you, and always remember to tell a friend so that friend could tell another friend, and another friend can tell another friend. So big up everybody and thank you one more time for joining our Late Tackle. See you next week when we have a lively discussion.